Dime qué tú quieres, papi. ¿Quieres que lo mueva para ti? Mueve, mueve. ¿Te gusta cuando me muevo así? Así.
Thank you, God, for this day we have lived, everything in our life, our health, our family, the guidance you have given us, allow us guidance to the path of righteousness. Amen.
Really, I'ma get that bitch. Revenge is a dish best served cold. She took my son, now my soul is cold. He took my daddy, now my soul is old.
Yeah, man.
That's hot shit right there, man.
So what we gonna do? We gonna dub?
Doing what we do 3 to 4 nights a week. King Chaka ENT.
I got this.
From the
She
back
starts
seat.
shooting.
That dude was like, ow.
What was that?
Outside the car,
That nigga
deputies'
got
body
popped.
cameras capturing the bullets flying through the air.
We got shots fired
couldn't
up
have been
here.
a straight
We need
shot. It had
backup
to be-
immediately. Start
Are you-
EMS. Start EMS.
What
We got
the
a civilian. We got a civilian hit.
The deputy.
Looks like we got us another hit.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? How y'all feel? Remember, an educated public cannot be controlled. Learn to be active. The views and events expressed here are totally whacked and are not necessarily views of anyone. And the show today is Could I Be Wrong? I tend to go back to this over and over again because it's a thing that I see a lot. I see it a lot. And now people want to some people would like to put it on like religious people, like they're the religious people are the ones that are like that. And they're like, I can't really disagree with that, but whoever's the person that's saying that, it probably fits in it too. It's rampant. It's rampant. It's a really profound idea that, I could be wrong. Me, whoever me or I is. Do you get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, okay, yeah, I can say I could be wrong. I say that all the time, but that's what allows me to explore the way that I do these ideas, even the ones that I hold dear and I've been holding dear for years. That's me, though. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. What I'm saying is that it seems like there's a real problem with people being able to say that they were wrong, or even entertaining the idea that they could be wrong. Like, that's the part. Like, okay, you don't even have to go as far as to say that you're wrong. Maybe you're just, you're not aware, But when someone asks you the question, could there be a chance that you could be wrong? And they say no, there it goes. If there's no chance I could be wrong, absolutely no chance I could be wrong. Not about this. Maybe I'm wrong about other things, but there's no way I'm wrong about this. I can't be wrong. There's no way. And so this kind of goes back to what I was talking about before about how like people won't end, like how do I get you to see? If you can't even entertain the possible idea that you could possibly be wrong, then how can I get you to see that you're wrong? Or how can anyone get you to see it? I'm laughing, but it's really serious because we have these dogmatic views. We have these preconceptions. We have these prejudices. We have these social biases. We have these cultural biases. We have these economic biases. We have our who we care about, like our immediate family biases. It seems like we forget about all of that when it comes to the point of like, could I be wrong? I don't want to entertain the idea that I could be wrong. Therefore, I'm just going to double down on whatever it is I'm on. And it doesn't matter what comes out or what anyone says or if there's facts or even if the act happens right in front of you. Like, I don't know, Jesus can come down and say, you know what, buddy, you're wrong. And you're still going to be like, I don't know, Jesus, I usually roll with you, Jesus, but I can't roll with you on this one. You said I'm wrong. I'm sorry, Jesus. I can't roll with you on that. That's how integral, that's how freaking visceral, that's how freaking intricate our freaking dogmatic views of the world are. And the media, they make money off of this. These people, they make money off of this. These people who talk here and there, they make money off of it. They're just telling you what you want to hear. They're telling you that you know what? You're right. You're not wrong. You're never wrong. It's like the customer's always right. These people that's selling you the media, these people that's selling you these books, they're selling you all kinds of stuff. And they're catering to your ego of you thinking like, I couldn't possibly be wrong. They're like, okay, yeah, you can possibly be wrong. Can you buy this shit right here? I got some shit for you right here. You can buy it right now. And sign up for this class or whatever it is. Buy this book or whatever. Yeah, you're not wrong. Here, I got something for you. So, but we don't see that. It's that veil. It's that illusion that we have, that freaking disconnect that we have from everybody is selling us something. We're all stuck in a bubble. We're all stuck in our algorithm. But at the end of the day, we still feel like we're right. How can we all be right, bruh? And then it's like, okay, well, I'm right based on my point of view or my perspective. Each man makes his own truth type of shit. I'm sorry, I can't subscribe to that way of thinking, because when the sun shines and someone says it's not shining and they says that that's my truth, I'm going to say, okay, I'm not going to argue with you, but you're crazy. Like, you're not facing reality. That is not the truth. There's only one truth. There's not each individual person has a truth. That's not how the universe works. Because if you jump off of a building, if you walk off of the roof, what's going to happen? If you don't have some floating or flying device or something, you don't have something, you're going to go splat. And that is the truth. And anybody can come and say, that's not the truth. That's not my truth. I'm just going to jump off of I'm going to do a Spider-Man flip off the side of the building and bounce off of a tree and then do a backflip and land on my feet. No. That's absolutely not what's going to happen. You're going to go splat. So you can have that as your truth and you can attempt to do it or whatever if that situation comes around, but then you're going to go splat. Maybe you lived in your truth all the way until you went splat, but everybody saw you go splat. So your truth was not the truth. It takes my breath away to even just have these conversations. It shows the reason why, our media is taking advantage of us. And that's one of the tools that it uses. And we're all freaking fighting against each other because we're all in our own damn truth. We can't come to no damn consensus on anything. Then they start making up new words and shit. And then you have all these words that people don't even know the definitions of, and they throw them around because they heard somebody else say it, and then they use that as their reason for them being in their truth. And a reason to go against if somebody says something different from that. And what kills me about that the most is that people don't even understand. They don't even get it. They don't even know, like, at all. And I, and that's the reason why I do this show in the way that I do it, is because this is really educational. I try to entertain and educate, because I feel like that's what's needed the most. Like, we're all missing it. We're missing something. We're not getting it. There's a disconnect. It's not adding up. And I understand that as our education system has been, trash, and for a long time. And it just makes factory workers. It just makes people who are ready to go do a job and follow directions really well, and just keep their head down and, go to the bar on weekends, push that hamster wheel, keep building the civilization, keep holding up the civilization, keep up the status quo. No movers and shakers are going to come out of that system. It's not designed for that. It just makes squares and triangles, and that's it. And you're either going to plug into the square hole or you're going to plug into the triangle hole. You don't have any other options. They say, think outside of the box. But then when you think outside of the box, they say, no, not like that. We want you to think outside of the box within these parameters. Wait, those parameters are a box. Yeah, that's true, but you can't go outside of these parameters. I mean, that would be crazy. But you told me to think outside of the box. Not like that. You're doing it wrong. So yeah, you're wrong because you're not doing it the right way. The right way is the way I do it. The way I said for you to do it. That's the right way. And that's the part about the can't be wrong. It's like, as long as you agree with me, then you're obviously right. If you disagree with me, then you're obviously wrong. You see how that works? Because I'm right. There's no way I could be wrong. I can't even imagine a possibility of me being wrong. There's no way. So therefore, if you aren't lining up with how I see this thing, then you're obviously wrong. So, but that kind of goes along with the idea of the people that feel like everyone is stupid. And then that's related to the media and what they're teaching you as far as you can't be wrong. The customer is always right. So, you obviously, and that's another thing. You feel like the person that's in this place that's selling you something, they're the dummy. They don't know stuff. So everyone else is dumb. Everyone else is stupid but you. And everyone else is wrong that don't agree with you. Wrong and stupid. It's crazy when you think about it, but we don't ever really just go, we don't never spend the time to actually think about these kind of things. It's like everybody else can't be stupid. Every place you go, the people are stupid. Like everywhere you go, when you go to a restaurant or some kind of store, vendors and stuff like that, they're all stupid. How could that be? Is it because of the jobs? Because they have a job? Well, what job do you have? When you're not at work, you're just like them. Like they go around to vendors and stores and restaurants just like you. I wonder, do they feel like everyone is stupid? Those same people that you feel like everyone that's stupid? Anyways, how y'all feel? I really want to get those rants to 20 minutes. That's been my what I've been intending to do. Can't seem, they turn out to be 15 minutes every time. It's weird. Anyways, let me see. Do I have something in here? Give me a second, y'all. Let me get it together. I have a few things I want to talk about for sure. Freaking Biden. Well, let's go into Biden. Screw it. It's right here at the top anyways. I was going to talk about it anyways. President Biden outlines 3-step plan to decriminalize marijuana. This was posted by the Shade Room. And they got a tweet here from Biden. It says, As I've said before, no one should be in jail for using or possessing marijuana. Today, I'm taking steps to end our failed approach. Allow me to lay them out. First, I'm pardoning all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. There are thousands of people who were previously convicted of simple possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result. My pardon will remove this burden. Second, I'm calling on governors to pardon simple state marijuana possession offenses. Just as no one should be in federal prison solely for possessing marijuana, no one should be in local jail or state prison for that reason either. Third, we classify marijuana at the same level as heroin and more serious than fentanyl. It makes no sense. I'm asking at Secretary Becerra and the Attorney General to initiate the process of reviewing how marijuana is scheduled under federal law. Those are all really good things. I hope it's not just freaking talk. I need to see some action, Biden. I need to see some moves on this. Let me read the caption. It says, Breaking President Biden has just announced a new plan to decriminalize marijuana, which includes pardoning all prior federal possession offenses. Biden's three-step plan will ultimately change the classification of marijuana under federal law to ensure that future offenses do not land citizens in federal prison. Man, I mean, what are the cops going to be doing? Maybe they could actually start trying to prevent some crime. Tell you, they already bored as hell. Y'all finna free up they whole day. I think it's a great idea. It should have happened a long time ago. The whole thing is freaking retarded anyways. There's a huge racial component related to this. So that's the thing, okay? So that I'm gonna cover this later too about the suit that stopped the student loan forgiveness thing. I got an email myself. They were telling me to sign up because I qualify to get student loan forgiveness, and then they sent an email that said, just stay tuned. They didn't show me how to do it. They just said wait for future emails, and that's it. I haven't got anything else as far as I know. I haven't seen anything else. And so the thing is all held up in court now because there's a suit going on, and the guy is saying that it's like racially based. So, but then there is definitely a racial component to this because a lot of people of color will benefit from the student loan forgiveness, and a lot of people of color will benefit from the decriminalization of marijuana to the point where they're gonna let all these people out of jail. Is that what he's saying? These people get to go home. That's a big deal. That's a lot of brown people. So, you can see which direction they're going in, I think, politically, because they can see that black folks are a very useful political tool. And I think that that's what they're going to do coming. We got elections coming up, bro. Don't think that this stuff is happening because out of the just kindness of these people's heart. They need something to get these people to like go to the polls or whatever. Because people are not interested. But when you talk about stuff that they feel like is going to affect them, like they got loved ones that's locked up for marijuana, boom. Hey, I'll come out and vote for that. I'm not saying me. I'm saying this is how people would think. I think, how I feel, I have to be careful how I say this, but I'm more of a freaking anarchist at this point. And I don't think that the politics is going to fix the problems that we have. I think we need something else. I'm going to just leave it at that. So I'm not all that motivated. They're not going to get me to drink the Kool-Aid when it comes to that shit. So that shit works out and it's good for people. Great. I'm happy for it. But that's not going to drive me to the polls. I know what y'all up to. Let me see. I was watching the art shit. Yeah, let's keep on going with Biden right here. Let's do this one. 1 second, y'all. Rational National talked about it. It's pretty much the same thing I just said, but
Oh my goodness. I sat down to shoot a completely different video, looked online to see if there were any updates to that story. I'm still going to shoot that video later, only to find out that Joe Biden is making a massive move on cannabis. So let me get to this news. This is just breaking. He put this online through Twitter, starting with this saying, I've said before, no one should be in jail just for using or possessing marijuana. Today, I'm taking steps to end our failed approach. Allow me to lay them out. And there are, I believe, 3 different steps here. So he first says, I'm pardoning all prior federal offenses of simple marijuana possession. There are thousands of people who were previously convicted of simple possession who may be denied employment, housing, or educational opportunities as a result. My pardon will remove this burden. Already, this alone is incredible. A fantastic move.
if it
not only
happens,
politically, because of course this is incredibly popular, but also obviously for those that will be impacted by this. I mean, think
if it happens, I mean, because I, you know, like I say, I gotta see it. Like I hear people say stuff all the time. You know, I need some moves on this. We can't just be like, come on, let's. I'm not gonna get excited and feel like it's even gonna happen because I haven't seen it happen. It's just words right now.
think of how crazy it is. How long we have gone knowing that marijuana is not a big deal, yet it has continued to impact the lives of people that have been caught having some on them, be it through, as Biden mentions, employment, housing, educational opportunities. It is completely insane. So to finally see a president step up, use their power, and do something about it is honestly surprising. It's surprising because you're not used to seeing some actual progress like this. But here, Biden is actually doing it. Did not expect him to make a move on this, especially before the midterms. Normally, the way these politicians think, they think doing anything big, may hurt them, especially Democrats think that. But here you have Biden making this move before the midterms. Hopefully, or I assume there are people in his ear that are showing him, the polling, the reality of how popular this is, and that I believe would move him or has moved him on this position to do this now. So really good to see. But there's more. So he goes on here saying, second, I'm calling on governors to pardon simple state marijuana possession offenses. Just as no one should be in a federal prison solely for possessing marijuana, no one should be in a local jail or state prison for that reason either. So basically an extension of his first point here. Really good to see this. But there's more. So he also says, third, we classify marijuana at the same level as heroin and more serious than fentanyl. It makes no sense. I'm asking Secretary Becerra and the Attorney General to initiate the process of reviewing how marijuana is scheduled under federal law. So I have discussed this at length, how marijuana is still a Schedule I drug, just completely insane. Finally, Biden is doing something about this through executive order, through his executive powers. He can do this alone. He does not need Congress. He needs Congress to legalize it, but he doesn't need Congress to remove it from a Schedule I drug. So, of course, this is just the announcement of them looking into this, but assuming this continues, it appears he's going to take it out of a Schedule I drug. I'm speechless because I just did not. If you told me when Biden won and became president that he would do something like this, something this popular, something that should be done, that is the right thing to do, I would not believe you. But it is really good to see this. And he actually goes on, I might as well read his other 2 tweets. Says here, I'd also like to note that as federal and state regulations change, we still need important limitations on trafficking, marketing, and underage sales of marijuana. And also says here, sending people to jail for possessing marijuana has upended too many lives for conduct that is legal in many states. That's before you address the clear racial disparities around prosecution and conviction. Today, we begin to right these wrongs. So before I get to the polling on cannabis legalization, it is, I'm looking forward to seeing how the right reacts to this. Because again, This is very popular, as I will show you, a very popular position. I have to assume their only reaction to this will be, oh, Biden wants to release criminals. That's what it's going to be. He's going to release criminals. He wants to release criminals. That has to be their only angle, because they can't come out vocally, against marijuana and how dangerous cannabis is, because again, a lot of their own voters use cannabis, are fine, want to see legalization. So I don't think strategically that is the proper route for the right to take. So they're gonna, do some bullshit around, crime. That's
They always go to crime. That's what it's gonna be, I think, too. Oh, they're like they said about the laws. They said they have these purge laws. They call them purge laws. But you have to look a little bit more into it instead of just reading the headline. But I'm not going to go into that right now anyway. So it's not true. It's not like a purge law. It's more like these are non-violent crimes, bro. And there's a lot of people that gets arrested for non-violent crimes. Like there's no victim. There's victimless. These are victimless crimes, bro. They're victimless crimes. Anyways, I don't want to even talk about that because it's stupid. Let me see some comments. It says, I am 70 years old and join David in being speechless. Thank you. About damn time somebody like our president stepped up and puts an end to this decades-long war for profit on pot. Thank you, President Biden. But he hasn't done anything yet, people. He hasn't done anything. Come on. Do not jump the gun, you guys. They're just talking. Politicians talk all the time. All the time. Let me read some more. It says, great move and morally right for midterms. How can the GOP argue with this great move? They'll find a way, and it's going to be crime, like he said. Another comment, it says, it's been legal here in Canada for a while now, and I don't think we have fallen apart as a country. And there aren't any more dangerous criminals running around in the street than before it was legalized. Great move, President Biden. That's a good example from Canada. Thanks, Canada. That's why they make fun of y'all. Blame Canada. He should have put an A at the end. Great move, President Biden, A. Let me read some more. Biden's throwing down a gauntlet. Dem candidates should eagerly support him. What the hell does that mean? The whole war on drugs was a complete disaster. This won't fix all the problems that it has caused, but it goes a long way towards helping those who were hurt by it. Telling you, man. It's the fucking least. They gotta admit they gotta admit that it was either racially motivated, like they wanted to lock these people up, or it was a mistake. They gotta say one or the other, because there's no other. The information is out. The data is out.
You think they will ever admit to, making laws that's racially motivated?
I don't think so. I really don't. So then they like I say, the other option is they have to say, okay, we fucked up. We made a mistake. We didn't know. That's what they always say. Unintended consequences. That's what they say.
No, look, I'm gonna tell you, because I actually saw some clips, like they were like in the moment when they were doing, like when they were arresting people, it was like, well, this is what you asked for. Like they were doing us a favor by locking up all of our, like family members and, this, that, and the other for, a quarter of a century behind something that anybody else, so it's like you specifically, targeted certain, because, other people were going to jail for these same crimes. It's just that they weren't spending 20, 25 years in it for, being affiliated with somebody, or, if they, were, even if you were the kingpin, it shouldn't have mattered, because like kingpins that were, Latino or white or whatever, they were coming home in 5 years, where black men were staying there for 15, 20, 25 years. So
for like a dime sack and shit, for like a quarter ounce and shit.
A gram, for a gram of coke, or crack, or whatever, I'm saying, whatever it was, like over some bullshit, like real small, like just say, like people who would dealing stuff on the street just to try to, you know,
Yeah, they didn't
pay a
have no
light bill.
bunch. They only had as much that they could fit in their pocket, and that they
Like
didn't
they
haven't
they
sold yet.
a lot of them couldn't even afford to buy it. They were getting it fronted to them to be able to go make some money off of it, and you know, go, you know, take the money back. They made $50 off of a fucking.
And these are small time people. These are not real criminals. Like, see, and then you know what you do in this situation, you create real criminals because it's a rap song that says it said, how's it go? It says that gangster shit is, I can't remember how it goes. Anyways, it was a Jeezy song I was thinking of, but basically he's saying that, you know, you get more time for the dope case than murder. So then murder is ain't nothing. You know, I'm more worried about that dope case. So I'm gonna kill up some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you either go one way or the other as far as like, you know, like I say, like these people aren't real criminals, but then
Well,
when you put them in a position like this, now they decide, okay, well then I guess I'm gonna go all the way on this shit.
well, cause see, some people will look at it like, okay, look, you know, yeah, I might be committing crimes, but I'm not doing crimes that harms other people that don't, you know what I'm saying, like innocent people, because, you know, if I'm selling crack to a crackhead, somebody who's gonna get crack from whoever, you know, as long as they getting crack, like that's not really a harm against someone innocent. But you know, like it almost seems like it was promoting that you'll have a better chance at being a hitman than the drug man. You know,
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. The situation they created criminals when these people weren't criminals in the
well,
beginning.
see the whole thing, because I mean, really, it's all a scam. Because like the all of the chemicals that's in cocaine, crack, heroin, all that, they use them too. You know, Big Pharma uses every single one of them, and they can use it and sell it and make billions of dollars legally. But you know, somebody who's, you know, like gets a hold of, like, what makes them higher on the pedestal?
I don't
People with
understand. That's that high horse shit because look at the Sackler family. Look at the opiate epidemic. I got some videos on that if we want to go down that road, but freaking because I was just watching that this week. Like it's so crazy how much money they made and how much lying, cheating, and illegal shit they did to do it. And then they got all the information is out there. All they did was pay fines. They got in trouble, they paid fine. They got in trouble, they paid fine. Got in trouble, paid the fine. They still doing what they doing. Is people still dying?
hmm I mean, shit. I mean, right now, like, cause I read a story about two girls that came up missing, and you know, I guess when they were found, like they're dead from fentanyl overdose.
And they're not talking about how. See, they want to talk about fentanyl. It's really to draw the attention away from the opiates, the legal, the over the counter, the shit. People are dying.
Yeah.
They're not talking about it that much because they don't want to have this conversation. But we have an epidemic, and it's been going on for a while
hmm
in the United States where a lot of people are dying. So they're calling it other stuff, like they had a heart attack or something like that, you know, asphyxiation or something like they calling it different shit. But it's
hmm
it's ODs on these fucking pills.
Yeah.
Everybody is dying from this shit. Like a lot of people are dying from this. It's the main way people are dying right now. Like it's number one cause of
Well,
death for sure.
well, look. Well, see, I mean, what I find to be very weird is that there's was Chuck Schumer is like, you know, asking for money, I guess government money or tax money in the billions to be able to target these rainbow fentanyl pills, or you know, whatever it is that's going around. And it's like, bro, like,
I think they're gearing up for their other drug war. Like they need something. Like I was saying earlier, the resources, bruh, the money, bruh. Like the shit gonna dry up. They need some justification for their big bloated ass budgets. And like I say, if this dude make all of this like legal and then let all those people out of jail and shit, what the fuck is the cops gonna be doing? They're gonna be twiddling their thumbs, bruh.
wait a minute, letting people, what you talking about, the people in South America?
No, the Biden thing related to marijuana.
letting the people out that were
Yeah, letting them out and also decriminalizing all of that shit. So, like I say, what are they gonna be doing now? They ain't got that. That's they bread and butter. So, but they need something else. So I guess they'll use the freaking
I mean, because see, the whole thing is, it's like now it's becoming easier for them to try to get people on trumped up charges, and like bullshit, like your tent is too dark. Like the cop can pull you over for because all of the articulable reasonable suspicion or whatever, however it's said, but all they got to do is be able to tell you some bullshit. And now if you don't really understand the laws, shoot, you gonna get messed over, because like some people, they'll get out of their car, and then once they get out of the car, they say, oh, you open the door and I smell something. Okay, they smell, well, what you think you smell? Like, ain't nothing in the car. We need to search it now. Like, and then now from that point, whatever it is, like, they just steadily build, like that's a part of their scheme. Like, it's to be able to, like, they find a way to keep building more and more and more once they pull you over, like to build a case, or to like creating a case right
and they
there.
don't even have nothing, and it's so fucking bullshit. Let me play this right here, y'all. Check this out. What's up, Deuce? Let me play this first.
That our Fourth Amendment protection against unwarranted search and seizures has been eroded by legal precedent which gives police vast discretion to ignore it. I think it is safe to say that for any given scenario where police might want to search your car or your person or your property, the courts have conjured an exception which makes Fourth Amendment protections porous at best. But of course, the best way to demonstrate how this works is through the video I'm about to show you right now. It's a video of a car stop in January 2021 in Trenton, New Jersey that involves the stop, the search, and violent arrest of an Uber Eats driver. The story starts when a specialized crime unit was patrolling an area in Trenton they designated in their charging documents as high crime. Their basis for this assessment? The usual American police rationalization of impoverished, neglected, and over-policed. There, according to charging documents, officers encountered the ominous behavior of a motorist who, wait for it, was parked. Seriously. When they approached the vehicle, the officers wrote the person in the driver's seat, Michael Q. Banks, looked, okay, wait for it, startled. And for that reasons, officers felt justified to do this. Let's watch.
Yep.
What's up, man?
Excuse me.
Hey, how you doing tonight? How you doing tonight? Just keep your hands up for me.
No, excuse me, sir.
Keep your hands up for me. All right. Keep your hands up for me.
Sir, why are you grabbing me?
Keep your hands up.
I'm at my Fourth Amendment. Excuse me. I have my Fourth Amendment. I just came out from establishment.
Hold on. I don't know if the car's in the car.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm all right.
Oh, okay.
This is something I can help you guys with. Y'all are pulling me out my car.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. I'm going to remove you.
Now, it's interesting to read between the lines of this so-called statement of probable cause and relate it back to my statement about the erosion of our Fourth Amendment rights. That's because the first prong of the officer's argument that Mr. Banks' car could be searched was based upon where it was parked. That's right. Apparently, parking in a bad neighborhood is probable cause for a crime. Let me repeat that the officer believes Mr. Banks had waived his Fourth Amendment rights because of where he decided to stop. Notably, it was also where he was trying to make a living delivering food. But it doesn't end there, because the second prong of his argument is the so-called startled look. That's right. Because Mr. Banks was surprised by the presence of several plainclothes police officers, well, then he must have been committing a crime, not delivering food. So on that basis, police decided to engage with Mr. Banks and asked him to get out of the car. But the cops had a different version of what happened than what appears to be shown on the video. Let's watch and then compare.
What's up, man?
Excuse me.
Hey, how you doing tonight? How you doing tonight? Just keep your hands up for me.
No, excuse me, sir.
Keep your hands up for me. All right. Keep your hands up for me.
Sir, why are you grabbing me?
Keep your hands up.
I'm
Is the
at my
vehicle
Fourth
in
Amendment.
park?
Excuse me. I have my Fourth Amendment. I just came out from my establishment.
Hold on. I don't know if the
Excuse
car's in
me?
park.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, how are you, sir?
I'm all right.
Oh, okay.
This is something I can help you guys with. Y'all are pulling me out my car.
Get out of the car.
Get
Get out of the car. I'm going to remove you. Get out. Get out. You're under arrest. You're under arrest. On the ground. You're under arrest.
So, as you can see, Mr. Banks complied, but also asked reasonable questions, but not according to the sworn statement signed under the penalty of perjury by the cops themselves. Let me read it as we watch what actually happened. Take a look. I heard Banks yelling through the driver's side door as he displayed aggressive behavior. Really? Is that really what happened? Let's take another look.
What's up, man?
Excuse me.
Hey, how you doing tonight? How you doing tonight? Just keep your hands up for me.
No,
Keep your hands
no.
up.
Excuse me, sir.
Keep
Sir.
your hands up
Sir.
for me. All right.
Sir.
Keep your hands up for me.
Sir, why are you grabbing me?
Keep your hands up.
I'm
Is the
at my
vehicle
Fourth
in
Amendment.
park?
Excuse me. I have my Fourth Amendment. I just came out from my establishment.
Hold on. I don't know if the
Excuse
car's in
me?
park.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, how are you, sir?
But that's not where this intriguing narrative ends, because as they continue to drag Banks out of the car, the officer again had an interesting interpretation of what happened. Let's watch, and again, I'll read the officer's sworn statements as we
I
watch.
just came out from my establishment.
Hold on. I don't know if the
Excuse
car's in
me?
park.
Due to Banks'
me, sir.
aggressive behavior,
right.
I removed Banks
Listen,
from
I
the
can help you
driver's
guys with.
seat
Y'all are
and
pulling
took
me out
him
my
to the
car.
ground.
Get out of the car.
Get out of
Get out of the car. I'm going to remove you. Get under arrest. Get out. You're under arrest. You're under arrest. On the ground. You're under arrest.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like these ones that bother me, like I don't play the shootings. You know, I don't like to play the shootings, but these bother me a lot, and I would say probably more because this is what happens across the nation. The ones that don't get talked about, you know, and then it creates this environment of fear. It creates this environment like it could have led to his death. It totally could have. So the fear of that is in the moment. It's in the air, you know. And it's like, how many times, you know, how many people are going through that, like right now at this moment, even while we're talking here on the show, you know? And then it's, you know, what crime did he commit? Like, what, you know, what did he do wrong? Like, why, you know, does it not feel like he was violated there?
Being black while being parked. I don't know. I mean, because he wasn't even driving. They didn't even see him pull up there. They like don't know anything about what his movements were before. But you know, they are so genius. They have decided that he is a part of some crime ring that you know he has to be a part of because he's in this neighborhood. Like.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play the rest of the video, but they searched his car, basically tore his car apart looking for something. Didn't find anything in his car. He went to jail though. I wonder what the charges were. It was like evading arrest and failure to, I don't know, comply. You know, that's not how it should work. You know what I'm saying? like. You know, the crime was committed as a result of the interaction. Like I was saying before about escalating the situation. Like who escalated this situation? Like how did this, you know, turn into what it was? You know, who was the escalating force?
It was the cops the entire time. I mean, we just saw the video, which obviously had to be the cops. You know, like from the point of view, it had to be the cops' camera.
Yeah, that was their body cam. So you know they're in trouble because the damn footage is out. So freaking they were plain clothes. They wasn't even, I don't think they were in a marked car either. I think they were in plain clothes, and they freaking just ran up on this dude. Like, that's what I say, man. They're bored, bro. They don't have nothing to do. You're fucking with this Uber driver, bro. You thought he had some drugs in his car. You was wrong. It makes me angry.
Yeah, man, it's messed up. It's totally like
that shit happens
really
every day.
Every day. Still to this day. To this day.
Yeah, you come pulling out of the hood at a certain time of the night, bro, and you
And
hit
that's what
that
it
corner.
was. So that's
You
what
hit
it
that
was.
corner, that lawman sitting there.
That's exactly what it was. See, that's what they said in the video. Because of the neighborhood, they said it was a bad neighborhood. And because it was a bad neighborhood and he was parked, it's just that's suspicious. So that's enough for them to freaking straight violate this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, man, yeah, man, think about that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, they do that. They do that shit every day, bro. Depending on where you at, man.
Yeah, man.
But where you at, what kind of car you driving, you know, and also depending on your skin tone, you know.
Oh yeah, that has a lot. That's one of the major factors involved. You know, because I mean, I'm not saying that they don't do it to all, nationalities or races, but I mean, it just seems to be that it's happens way too much.
Man,
I think
you got this clown on the screen, this old fucking sellout. I don't believe shit that nigga say.
Well, he's finna talk about. I want to talk about the student loan.
Fuck that nigga, man.
Oh, you talking about the thing that they promised to pay for people, and they reneging on their promise. I mean,
Well,
it's like
it's caught up in the courts. That's why I want to play this to kind of explain it some, so that people can know. Yeah, it's getting sued. They're suing it, so that's why it stopped. And so, but the reason is really interesting. It's the 14th Amendment. I think it's the 14th Amendment. The guy is trying to say it's infringing on the Constitution. But anyways, they explain it really good. Was it this video? I think it's this one. How it's like, Ketanji talked about it. The new Supreme Court Justice lady, she talked about, how, the whole reason why they did the amendment was to, protect the freedmen's or whatever, right? The people of color, the people who were freed slaves. And then, but his argument is that it's infringing, it's making it racial when it wasn't intended to be racial. She said that the whole reason why they wrote it was to protect a certain group of people. So that's what the suit is saying. The suit is saying that the loans benefit overwhelmingly a certain group of people, and that's not fair.
So it's benefiting people other than like it's supposed to be college students. So they're picking out certain college students that can get it, or
no? He's saying that it's racial. So, because see, yeah, it's gonna benefit whoever did the loans. It's just that a lot of brown and black people have these loans. It's gonna overwhelmingly, like, kind of level the playing field a bit in that regard, in that area.
Well, if you want to say that, I mean, okay, that's fine. I mean, because that's a tall order to fill to to balance the scales between us and
So, well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's how they're seeing it as. Okay, so that's their problem. That's why they're suing. So that's why this is interesting. Let me play some of this. Y'all know I don't really. I still subscribe to this guy. I get how y'all feel about him. He's a bit of a jerk. But hey, I'm an asshole sometime too. So like, information
I'm an asshole a lot of the times.
Information is about the information. So here, check it out.
My book is called White Fear: How the Browning of America is Making White Folks Lose Their Minds. I told y'all that they're scared about money and resources. Well, a group out of Wisconsin is suing President Joe Biden under the guise that his student loan debt relief plan is really about helping black people. Y'all, I'm not lying. The president of the Brown County Taxpayer Association, Richard Heidel, this is what he said. Student loan debt relief takes from one group of people and arbitrarily distributes the spoils to another group. The plan amounts to nothing more than a modern-day version of King George III's Stamp Act, where there was massive taxing and spending without the participation of the people's representatives. The group argues the plan violates the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause because it uses federal dollars to advance racial equity, even though the average white high school dropout earns more wealth than the average black college graduate, according to the Duke Center for Social Equality. We contacted the Brown County Taxpayers Association to see if someone will appear on the show. We haven't heard back from them. So where shall I begin? Here's what I find to be interesting, Robert. Yesterday, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments in the Alabama voting case. In it, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson quoted extensively the 14th Amendment that she made clear was about helping black people. Don't you find it funny that these fools would try to quote the 14th Amendment, saying the student loan debt relief plan is in violation of an amendment that was specifically passed to help black people?
Well, Roland, no, this is takes you back to if you study apartheid South Africa towards the end, when they knew that they no longer could politically control the country. What they did was entrench themselves in the judiciary, the former colonial rulers. And from there, they were able to dictate the economy, dictate public policy through the court system, through the bureaucratic state. This is where we are now seeing the new fight, the new battle, the civil rights movement in the second half of the 21st century going. Because Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell have spent so much work stacking the court over the course of the last decade, we're seeing many federal appeals courts that are nearly whole panels of MAGA judges. We're seeing the Supreme Court that has a 6-3 majority of MAGA judges. And they made it clear with the Dobbs decision that every single thing that was fought for and created in the 1960s and 70s, what we traditionally consider to be the civil rights movement, will be overturned in the next 2 to 3 years. They simply need a case in controversy. I think why we've been on this show, a federal court overturned the DACA program of President Obama, putting in jeopardy the citizenship standing of millions of young children who were born here under that program. We're also looking at affirmative action, which will probably be overturned in the next session of the Supreme Court. Voting rights, what's left of the Voting Rights Act, more than likely will be going out of the window. We're seeing the consolidation of the Heller decision and expanding that so that any sort of gun legislation will more than likely be overturned. So we need to understand the playing field that we are on. And the reason these groups are fighting through the judiciary is they know they can't win elections. Republicans have won one popular vote at this century. They know they can't control the Senate. They have 41 million more Americans being represented by the 50 Democratic senators than the 50 Republican senators. And we got Herschel Walker and Dr. Oz. They know that they're not getting a majority back there, and they know they're not getting the White House back. So this is going to be a continued fight in the judiciary in front of MAGA judges, and we have to be prepared for that battle.
Man, he said a whole mouthful, and I gotta co-sign all of that he said. I'm co-signing that.
So what's real about all that? Because I mean, Trump didn't win the popular vote.
I mean, I have to look at the numbers. I don't think he did. I don't think so. I think Biden won the popular vote, right?
Well, I was talking more so about what he won against Hillary.
I don't remember those numbers.
Yeah, I think he had the popular vote and the. But I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. But you know, so they don't win. So I mean, if that's the case, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, how these people in office. But you know, they also are much more honest. You know, we talk about politicians who all lie, but you know, we're talking about people who are way more honest than Democrats. So I mean, if you're gonna lie your way into office and trick people and make them believe you're gonna do some stuff that you know you'll never do, okay. I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? That people actually run on what their word is, what they say, what they believe they can get done, and that's what they run on instead of all of the lies. Then okay, you're
Well,
right.
well, what this guy is talking about is revealing how things are happening and how things work. Okay, because what Trump did was he appointed a shit ton of judges, and they were feverish with it, pushing that shit through like bang, bang, bang. That was one of the things that Trump really had a successful presidency, even only being in there 4 years. His legacy is going to be ridiculous related to the judges. So, and then because they're a lot of them are lifetime appointments or whatever. They're going to be there forever, and it's so hard to get a judge out of there. And he put a shit ton of them up in there. So what they're saying is they're fighting that. They're pushing back on like the civil rights era, like all of the stuff that they got passed in the 60s and 70s. These people been pushing back on this for this whole time, and now they have this opportunity to undo it, and they're doing it through the court system. That's what he's saying.
Okay, so all right. So, like, what things are they? Was he specific about any of what they?
He just did a whole list. I'm not playing it back. He just said a whole list. He just did a whole list right now.
No, I'm just saying because I had the I had a little conversation going on that I had to discuss for a minute, so I missed some of it. But all right, let's go with that. Now, as far as if that's the case, if they're just so happen to be doing all this stuff in court cases, like my thing is like where they not showing up? Because I mean they are the majority everywhere. They the majority in the they run the executive branch. They're the majority in the Senate and the House.
Well, that doesn't matter if you got judges. The judges with the laws, the ones that's already on the books, once they are on the books, they're in the hands of the judges. The legislature writes the laws, but once the laws in the books, they're in the hands of the judges.
So when you write laws that was illegal to begin with, and then somebody calls you on it, then like how is that? Because I know I know he mentioned DACA because I even read some stuff about that, but it was illegal when they did it, and they feel like immigrants have rights to a country that they are not citizens to. Like I'm just trying to understand how this trying to make this like such a wrong thing, because people can come without illegally, and now they have rights because they broke the law. Like I'm just trying to understand if you can help me out with that part.
The DACA one is okay. You can say these people broke the law, but these were children, like maybe even in their mom's womb at the time, so or just recently born type shit. Like fucking
they purposely do, like the thing that they purposely do, like they want they get pregnant, they are pregnant, and in order for them to be able to obtain some type of rights is that they come here illegally, and now because this child was born here, now they have the rights as because it's a loophole that if you were born here, that you're a citizen, like you are,
but the point of that law is to not punish these children who had no power over. You could say that they broke the law, but they were a child. They didn't have no power over what their parent made them do. So why treat them like a criminal? What criminal act did that child do?
Well, nobody said that, but I mean, if you're see, that's the whole thing with I think that people get misconstrued because it's like, all right, if you open the door and try to make you create something that is, shouldn't happen in the first place. Like it should have never happened. They should have never, they should just make immigration on one process, and that's it. But then they're trying to make it where, okay, these people, and then it's not just those who were here at that time within a certain window that we're going to do this for. No, you're trying to open it and make it possible until the end of time, as a law. Like, who does that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you say, okay, look, because this happened and this happened, blah, 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 we're going to, people who have been here from between this time and this time, that, we're going to make these, that group of people, we're going to make concessions for these people. But we want, but no, they try to open the door so that anybody in the next 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, that as long as you complete that, go through that, if that just so happened, that you were pregnant and your kid was born here, you're illegal, but your kid was born here, that they're going to have rights. And then now, like, how is that? How does anybody even think that that's right?
The point of the segment is, how they work, how they're effective, how they get done what they get done. It's like you could go back to Obama with the Affordable Care Act, that they branded Obamacare. And how did they stop Obamacare? How did they end up gutting Obamacare? It was through the courts. It kept getting held up in the court. It kept getting fucked up in the court.
Well, see, but no, because they were doing illegal things. That's the part that I'm trying to show, like, bring to the light, is that they were doing illegal things from the beginning. Like when you force somebody to take something, or like you're gonna pay one way or the other. You're gonna either, get on this plan, or you're gonna get fined, for half of the amount that it would have cost you to have it, or maybe even the whole amount that it would have cost you to have it. So you're gonna pay for it one way or the other. Like that's like, it's a criminal thing.
It's basically a tax. So we can argue that taxes are robbery. We can go there, but if there's a chance for everyone to have, the only way people could have healthcare, universal healthcare, is if everybody pays into it. So it would be a tax, but you would get the opportunity.
But if it
to
was
have
a
healthcare
tax, but that's not what happened. It was not a tax. It was like, you gonna buy it, or you're gonna get fined if you don't get it. That's not a tax. That's
the fine is the tax. The fine is the tax. That way that the system can continue to go, that way you pay in regardless, and that amount that you pay for that year, that fine that they paid, that they take from you, goes into the system so that everybody can have health care.
Yeah, but you still don't have it, even though if you get fined and you never sign up for a plan, and you're never paying a monthly premium through the Affordable Care deal, and you get fined at the end of the year, you do not have the right to health care. You have to sign up for a plan. You have to be making your monthly premiums. That fine is the simple fact that you did not have it. So basically, in other words, they're forcing your hand to have medical insurance. They're forcing you. They're taking that decision away from you, whether you want it or not. And then that whole Affordable Care Act, I can see where it would work and where it could have been a very good thing, but it fucked a lot of people. Exactly. It fucked a lot of elderly people that had worked and put in their time and earned this health care. It fucked them out of a lot of the shit that their insurance paid for began.
But look,
the companies got their hands on it and wrote it.
Well, see, they're exactly. That's where it really became criminal, because this is not legislation that our lawmakers are making. No, the companies,
It came
the
straight
corporate
from. There's an
the
email.
cor-
There's evidence of it too. There's
the
real
corporations
evidence.
wrote this,
It
but
came
see,
straight from one of them companies.
but that's why inherently, conservatives and liberals are so totally different, is because liberals think that it's okay, and you're just like, oh, we should accept this. But it's like, no, like they're gonna write the laws, and then they're gonna give out the pricing, what people are gonna pay, and instead of making it more competitive, so that if you're gonna offer something like this, it's not gonna be $100 for prescriptions, or for you to have the visits, and like, what I'm saying, like the visits and all that. That's gonna be something that's gonna be somewhat kind of regulated to some extent. But then when you get to the doctor and all the stuff that you pay for throughout the services, that's where they hit you. So like,
Well, it's the red tape that they throw into everything. The point is that how it works is we don't want
you're saying they, but who is they?
Powers that be, whoever. The point is, if everybody's gonna get this thing, then that means certain people are gonna get this thing and benefit from it. And I don't want those people to get those things and benefit
That's
from
not
it.
But it really wasn't
no.
It really wasn't beneficial, bro.
It was a robbery to begin with.
It really wasn't beneficial.
It was a robbery of the people. Like it's another way to extort the people and make them pay for something that they can't afford.
But how can you ever get to the point of having universal health care if you can't get everyone to pay into the system? Everybody has to pay into the system. That way it'll work.
No,
but we already pay taxes. We already pay taxes in this country, and then the thing about it was, bro, it wasn't fair across the board. It was because if you were low income, yeah, it helped you. It helped you to be able to get it. But if you were a person, let's say you got, like myself, a family of 4, but I make $100,000 a year. Guess what? The premium through the fucking healthcare market was double what I was paying at my job. What I was paying.
Y'all getting lost in the details. This is the reason why we can't have universal health care in the United States.
Why can't we do it like Canada? Because Canada, they just take it through your taxes. Why do we have to pay a premium? If it's a universal health care like you're saying, Chaka, why do we have a premium? Because we don't have a fucking premium. It comes out of your tax dollars.
I agree that it wasn't right. It was flawed from the jump. I'm not saying that it wasn't.
Before they pushed to implement that shit, they should have looked at how these other countries around the world has done universal health care and how it worked. But because we are a capitalist society and this government believes in fucking everybody and bending you over and sticking dick to you, they didn't do it, and they made you feel like, oh, it's beneficial.
It's all a part of the
benefits
plan.
Somebody who only makes $20,000 a year.
Look,
good cop, bad cop.
When are we gonna? No, it's not no good cop, bad cop. It's bad cops.
They're working together. They are working together. At the end of the day, the American people get screwed. The Democrats and the Republicans working together. That's part.
I think there are some that are working together. Some people have that R by their name that really should have D, and probably the vice versa. That there's some that has D that should have R. But at the same time, one of the things that we have to realize is that these people who are implementing these grandiose ideas of how all this stuff is going to work has not really put pen to paper and actually done the calculations themselves. They're allowing the people who own the corporations doing like that.
That's crooked. That's freaking corruption. But you know that Obamacare was written by Mitt Romney. It was originally proposed by Mitt Romney. The same fucking
and a
legislation.
lot of it got gutted.
Mitt Romney care is what it really is, and he's Republican, or he was Republican, and freaking That's where it came from. So, but because Obama was the one who presented it, because that's the reason why they did that, because they wanted Obama the whole time. Obama came in there like, oh, kumbaya, we're gonna get both sides, we're gonna do work together, and that's the reason why they chose that legislation, because they felt like the Republicans would cover it. You know, they would vote for it.
No, but let me ask you this: did they sign it as is?
They always make changes to all of those bills. That's just the way it works. The point
So it was not a Mitt Romney bill. If they can go in and change it, it's not what he introduced. That's not the bill that he introduced. So it's no longer his. When they can come in here and say, okay, we're gonna take this out and put this in. It's no longer his. He had a good base, but then they was like, well, okay, we can use this, but we're gonna have to change this and we got to change that, and still bring it around to where it's gonna be suitable for them.
That's all the laws. That's how it works.
But what is a democracy for? What is the purpose? If we're gonna say that we have a democracy in a republic, what's the purpose if they're doing everything to benefit them? Like all of the laws are supposed to be to limit their powers against us.
And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. It's not one side or the other. They're working together to do this. And look how they did it. That's what I'm trying to explain. Look how they did it. They did it good cop, bad cop. Mitt Romney's side introduced the bill. Obama side proposed it. They made changes, whatever. Now the Republican side say, oh no, this is fucked up. We're gonna gut this in the freaking court system.
Yeah, I mean,
what happens as a result? The result is American people fucked.
Well, I mean, you know, it was made better when Trump got in office because he repealed all of that. You know, the whole what you call it when like they couldn't put the fines on you, like taking your tax money if you don't get it, because it wasn't a universal or a government, you know, real thing to begin with. So because that was illegal that they did that, but he repealed that, and then he put it on the market that we can get more competitive pharmaceuticals, so that would make things cheaper as well. So
the fuck part about the whole thing is that they made the healthcare beneficial for the low income people, right? But where they fuck the low income people is that these specialists that they may have needed for their disabled child was now taken off the table. Now they could no longer see this specialist. Now this wasn't covered within their plan. Like, it was
set up to fail.
People.
The only way it could
why
work.
do it? So tell me, in your opinion, what was the purpose of introducing this? Because the people wanted some universal health care.
Yes, because people wanted it. They gave them this watered down as corporate version of it that's gonna fuck over everybody. The only way it could work is if there's everybody goes in and you have the system set up with doctors involved, hospitals. But see, that's the problem. Our for-profit ass system, the hospitals want to make the most money they can make. The doctor wants to make the most money that they can make. The damn insurance company wants to make.
And I get it. I mean, that's the nature of the beast, and I get that. But at the same time, because those things are going to be possible, our government can't be in on the take. They have to. They're supposed to be the ones to regulate what these people can and cannot do.
And they're not doing that.
Us. Exactly.
Absolutely not. So, you know, the only way would be you'd have to have a middleman. You have to have somebody to level the playing field with the hospitals, with the doctors, with the insurance companies, the pharmaceutical companies. Each one of us is fighting upon our own behalf against these juggernauts, and they're going to win every time. So that's what the system is set up. But us as Americans, we are so freaking brainwashed that we can't possibly imagine a place where we can go to the doctor and and not pay $1 million for care.
No, because we keep hiring the
We
same
don't
type of
believe in the
people.
fucking system, bro.
Yeah,
Most people don't
we don't.
believe in the system. Like, no, at the end of the day, we truly don't know shit.
We don't
We
make
are
we
we
don't
all
we
slaves of our fucking belief,
yeah we
our
don't
own
make them work
beliefs.
or do what this. We don't make them do their job, and then like most people, like they'll just like really let the same people that's been screwing them right back into the same office to to keep doing it for another decade, another so like shit. Some of them like. We got a president in office that's been in office for 50 years and can't even tell anybody what he has done to grow America. Like half a century he's been in office, and like you cannot like tell me one thing that he did to prosper America.
Man,
That's
I
not
think,
his job.
What are you talking about? That's not his job.
His job, he works for the corporations.
my thing
No,
is, bro, I think once black people stop, because I feel like at the end of the day, this is just my personal belief. I think us as black folks, we're fucking ignorant as fuck. We want to believe in a system that was never meant for us, that has never been partial to us in any kind of way. And as long as we continue to buy into this shit, like the same shit
no,
Roland Martin and
but
them
no,
talking about,
I
the
gotta
shit that we
disagree.
argue about,
I
bro,
gotta disagree with
it's
you on.
never gonna fit us. Where
No, no,
would
no, no, no,
how's
no,
it
no, no,
gonna
no.
fit us if you continue to
How's it gonna
have
fit us? It's gonna is
these
how it
racist
fits us.
motherfuckers in power? None
How
of
it
our
fits
people.
us is us believing in each other, because like if we claim to have a
But we
democracy,
don't have that shit. Look at
no,
what you got Candace
no,
Owens
because
and all of these other sellout motherfuckers doing. It's gonna take
I
some
don't need you to say.
real
No,
motherfuckers
these
to
people,
step in there.
they actually speak in more sense. She's just a commentator. She's not a politician. She's just someone who's trying to tell people what's actually happening, where people just get mad because they don't really understand what she's saying.
I wouldn't be
Like,
surprised if she ran for some political office, though.
I mean, she probably should. I mean, if AOC can get in there, I don't see why she can't. She's a well-known face. I mean, shoot, AOC just so
She
happened to just
could get in there.
decide to run. But my whole thing is the system, like the laws, are what were created for the people to be able to have like we're supposed to run the government through our representatives, tell them what the hell to do. And then when we fail to do that, like it's all our fault, because the system was set up for us to win. But because we're too damn lazy, and people, don't want, like they don't want to like, oh, they're gonna make the people mad, like make the politicians mad. So the fuck what?
It's not that, man. It's not that the people are lazy at all, man. It's
No,
that we got a corrupt government. It's that the
bro,
damn
but why is it corrupt? Because we allow the same people to keep governing. Like or unless we're just
I
that stupid.
personally
the
think
system
I
is
don't
set up.
this is where I believe, bro. I personally think that you take a people that's been oppressed for so long, like a lot of them, I don't say that they're lazy. I think a lot of them just don't have no belief in the shit no more, bro. They just
Yeah,
giving up.
yeah. It's
They just
Well,
like
nihilism.
fuck it, bro.
well,
Like this
well.
shit is
See,
not
no.
gonna ever
Well,
benefit us. And
our
then you
school
gotta think
system.
about it. We don't have our own people, bro. Our
Look,
own
listen.
people don't even stand
Let
in
me tell you
place
something.
with us. They go against us every
Look,
turn.
Let me tell you, our what we call a school system or education system is an indoctrination. And if we allow, like, if we're gonna allow them to tell us, everything, and we just go for it, then we don't know that when we're supposed to, fight back at them, yeah, murders, we go protest, or, people, this, that, and the other. Yeah, people go protest, but at the same time, like, when you tell your representative to do something and you got a whole community of people saying, that this representative represents, and, instead of going there and like going into, the the House, the legislator, going into the legislative system to speak on your behalf, and they're not like, you think that person's supposed to see a new election? Like,
But I don't think I don't think that's the answer at all, man. Because the
why
way
not?
because the system is set up to create these people. They're gonna
It is.
go. You could clear the halls of Congress,
It is
and you
not
could
set up
fill
that
it
way.
with totally new people, and you're gonna have the same results that we have now, because the systems are in place, the
Say, bro.
pipelines are set up.
Say, bro. I look. Everybody has their belief, but no, it is not set up that way. It is because our failures to really understand who is who, and like at some point, like even after so long of somebody's being somewhere, that's like, this is not working for me. This is not doing anything better for me. So, you know what? How about we just try somebody different? You're saying that it's set up this way, but if you keep all these different faces coming up, and everybody has to just do their job, everybody's not, doesn't walk into a building knowing who's like, oh, I can go deal with this person because I know they got some, they got a plan, they got, they know how to get this money out of such and such or whatever, or I can vote with them. And like, if they always got to make new friends down there, they don't just have the trust and know who they can, bullshit.
That's not how it works. These people come in and out of the same CEO of the company or the Fed.
That's what it has become.
That's what it is.
You only seeing what you see. You don't see what it's supposed to be because you really don't know what the laws are. You don't know what obviously you don't know what the structure really is meant to be. If they're saying that we have a republic, like, okay, tell what does a republic do?
It's a representative government. I totally understand all of that. What I'm saying is that if long as you have them, they leave from their Congress and then they go work for the company and they become a lobbyist, and you have this revolving door of
Yeah, but see, when things like that is made, like, 'cause see, that's the whole point. Like, okay, if these people can do this, at some point, because we the people are the true governors and lawmakers, like we allow people to sit in these offices to do the fine print, but we have the say. When we forget we have the say, and we don't really enforce these different things, yes, these systems get built up into
the
what we see
senators are
now.
in there for 6 years. Okay,
Okay.
we fucked up. We put the wrong senator in there. Okay, well, we'll get him out of there. We'll get him out of there in about 6 years. Meanwhile, he's up in there doing all kinds of shit deals. After, even if he does not get reelected, he gets some cushy job at big ass company. His whole family's set. Everybody's good.
But see, but that's the whole thing, because these companies are supposed to, like, that's the whole thing. Like this, even the corporate structure is supposed to be here for us, not to rob us. But I think people have gotten just so used to what has been happening that that's just what it is, and that's the only way it can be. But if people stop, really, like, okay, look, start really get on accord. That's just like what we've been saying about black people uniting. If the American people truly unite and say, hey, you know what, like, you're an American, I'm an American, like, the whole system is screwing us all, but in different ways. Like, okay, look, let's get we're gonna get some new blood in here, whether it's you, me, or we put people that we want in there, that we can say, all right, because it needs to be like totally rebranded every so often. Like, if you allow these people to be in here for like 50, 60 years, their whole life, pretty much, from their 25 to
and we could
80.
and it's a good idea, but we could talk about it till the cows come home, but it's not electorally possible. The elections come up at different times. Like I say, you got 6 years going by on some of these damn elections. you know, it's to get the people that you want in there, they're gonna have to be able to have radio ads and TV ads and billboards and shit. They need fucking funding. You're not gonna be able to fund everybody's freaking campaign. The ones that need to make it ain't gonna make it because the system won't allow it.
No, we need not have ignorant citizens. We need a more informed group of people in this country. Like we need people to be like not getting sucked in by the propaganda and believing all the bullshit. Like
that's what we don't have. And that's what we don't have. We got a bunch of sheep that freaking whatever their favorite talking head says on their favorite show.
If they was, because see, that's the thing, if the people were more informed, if they hadn't gotten so used to this luxury, because I mean even the poorest person is living a luxury life here in America based on other countries, because you can go to the grocery store and at least be able to steal you some shit out of the damn grocery store if you need to, because it's right there. Because I mean, in some places, if you didn't grow it, you ain't got it. If you're not raising the cows and the chickens and the other, you don't have it. So that's why I say, just being here in America has gotten to the point where even the poorest person is living a luxury lifestyle.
I don't know if everybody would agree with that. I want to play.
They don't have to.
The other guy comes in. Let me see. The chick says Ketanji. She talks about Ketanji Brown. Hold on. Let me see. The other guy comes in and says a good point. Yeah, this guy. He's at the end. Hold on. Let me jump to this.
Or judges agreeing with them.
Yep, another reason for our people to come out in major numbers and vote. But this lawsuit is dead on arrival because the executive order is race neutral. White folks, black folks, yellow folks, brown folks all benefit from it. And unless you can show a racial imperative or requirement in the executive order, then you simply have no case. What I thought, and I think I'm looking for this lawsuit, is that there's also whether they attacked it under the APA Act. That is that the power to do this is in Congress or through one of the agencies, and that the president usurped the power of the Department of Education here when the agency should go through an administrative process. An administrative judge or judges ought to rule on this, not the president. But the president has lots of powers under the executive order. But what's more outrageous about this is that the plaintiffs come out and say that the student loan forgiveness program has a disparate impact, positive impact on black folks, and therefore it's unconstitutional. That's like saying that Dred Scott was right, that black people were 3/5 of a human being, and this executive order makes them whole, right? So I don't know where they filed it, but if they filed in federal court, it ought to be subject of a motion to dismiss because it fails on its face for those reasons and those reasons alone.
Comments.
So is he saying that I don't, because I'm not sure exactly specifically what bill what he's talking about, but certain things that he says that just when he brings up the Dred Scott case, like does he understand what happened in the Dred Scott case? Like, and then like some people are just bald-faced liars. Like, their main thing is to get you to believe in the Democratic politics, and that whatever it is that they're trying to do, that you should be down with it. I just think it's just another pawn. Because I mean, for people who have studied the Dred Scott case, knows that because you accept yourself to be if you say that you was a slave, then shut the hell up because you don't have no rights.
I want to read the caption, and then I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and then I'm gonna read the comments. The caption says, "White fear is showing after a white conservative taxpayer association filed a lawsuit on Tuesday against Biden and the U.S. Education Department. The Brown County Taxpayer Association claims Biden implemented a federal program with an improper racial motive. Rick Eisenberg, president and general counsel of the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, who filed the lawsuit on the organization's behalf, said, "The president has no authority to order wholesale forgiveness of student loans, costing taxpayers over $1 trillion. Whether this plan is good for America is for Congress to decide. We understand the procedural challenges, but we cannot stand idly by while the president shreds our separation of powers. This can't become the new normal for Democrats or Republicans. We will fight for the rule of law and take this issue to the United States Supreme Court if necessary." The president of the Brown County Taxpayer Association, Richard Heidel, said, "Student loan debt relief takes from one group of people and arbitrarily distributes the spoils to another group. The plan amounts to nothing more than a modern-day version of King George III's Stamp Act, where there was massive taxing and spending without the participation of the people's representatives. The group argues the plan violates the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause because it uses federal dollars to advance racial equity, even though the average white high school dropout earns more wealth than the average black college graduate, according to the Duke Center for Social Equality. We contacted the Brown County taxpayers,
All right. What I have to say about that is because I'm just like anybody else. Free money is cool. Like I wish I can get it right now. I don't want to win the Powerball tonight or tomorrow, whenever they're playing again. But that you set off a domino effect by making certain actions that if you're not careful, like because just like they're saying about shredding the whole idea of what we believe our country is by making certain actions, like you're really unwinding, and especially when it's you got somebody who's willing to break every law, like not let it go through the proper channels that it should go through. Like everybody that's doing these, any president that's violating the Constitution just to be able to get political power with somebody because they feel like they're losing out to somebody who they claim to easily won by, like they got to do like all these different things. Like it just makes no sense. They know that they have not given the people nothing, so now they're trying to do anything they can to try to say, hey, I did this, instead of taking the proper processes that's supposed to the channels that's supposed to go through, and just to say, hey, I did this, or the executive order, the same shit that Obama did, that they're repealing back now because it was illegal. And just like this thing that they're doing right now is illegal. It's just like, but when you set the stage,
Trump used executive orders too a lot.
But yeah, you can use them for certain things. But as far as like something where you're talking about,
it sounds like you're saying it's okay as long as the Republicans use it.
What I mean, you can feel that, but I mean, if you really look at why, like what people did executive orders for, then you might see it, understand it better, or what I'm saying. Because even if Trump did something illegally, it'll be repealed. Like if they did something that was not supposed to happen, he did something that wasn't supposed to happen, then yeah, it should be dealt with the same way. But what I'm saying is, we was just talking about DACA. That's why I said with Obama. That's why I mentioned him. So it's not really because is anybody talking about anything that that Trump did that was illegal?
Yeah. Lots of things. He's all in the courts right now. Wait, look, the name of the show today is Could I Be Wrong? So I think I talked about this before, but let me ask y'all. So, like, even on this topic we're talking about right now, this topic right now, Pat, could you be wrong?
I guess that would be based on people's opinion. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people think that I'm wrong. I mean, yeah, I guess in depending on how people might look at it, yeah, I could be wrong. But as far as I'm concerned, and what I understand about the law process, because like I said, I'm not picking on Democrat or whatever. We had earlier spoke about DACA and the immigrant thing. That's why I brought that part up, because that's the things that's really being attacked in the moment. That me and you talking about, with everything else that's going on within the government, like that's that wasn't a point that I was trying to. I was just bringing up what we had already just been discussing. So if you want to say I'm picking on Democrats, hey, I'll take that job, because I do it quite a bit, but they got shit to pick on.
Yeah. So what I was saying in my monologue at the beginning of the video is like, it seems like in America, I can't speak for everywhere, but here in the States, it seems like we have a problem with being wrong. Like, as far as admitting that we were wrong, or that we even could possibly be wrong. Like, we can't even say that we could possibly be wrong. And we have this idea that if people are right, they agree with us. And the people that disagree with us are clearly wrong. You get what I'm saying? I'm not picking on you, because I already said this earlier in the video at the beginning.
Well, no, I mean, it wouldn't really matter so much even if you were, but I don't take it as you picking on me, because I mean it's an honest question. But when we're talking about politics, things that are etched in stone, what things are supposed to be, it's easier to say what's right and what's wrong, but then it becomes emotional to some, where I've taken the emotion out of it, as much as I can, because I do have feelings about a lot of this stuff. But at the same time, like, I'm really speaking on this based on right and wrong. So, like, some people will get emotional about what I'm saying and say, oh, he don't know what the hell he talking about, because they've based their decisions on their emotions.
Yeah, and then there's perception. So it's like, whose perception of right and wrong? Wait, let me ask Deuce, how do you feel about that concept? What I was saying, could you be wrong? Could you be wrong about something that you feel strongly about, that you really feel is right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say I can't be, because at the end of the day, bro, I think we're all in some type of way, even though we may be talking good shit or stating facts. I think we're all misled a lot of times by our own belief. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we're all fucking ignorant to what's going on around us. If you really want to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
because the things that we argue about and that we speak up on is so fucking minute to what's actually going on and what's actually happening to us. Like, it's in plain sight. It's in plain. Well, I'm just saying from my point of view, from my perspective, because I feel like there's a bigger issue beyond the everyday shit that we may go back and forth on that's actually happening to us as American people, and what these evil motherfuckers are doing.
Well,
And I
yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you when on that, because, like, for me, I think that the fight between globalism and nationalism is like a bigger deal than us talking about what the immigration policies are, because I mean, once something as big as that can transform into something, like, everything else really, like, we won't have the say that we have now, because the whole model, the whole business model of America, as we believe it to be, because it's not like in action they're doing things outside of what we've considered this country to be, a democratic republic. So
And I think, and me personally, bro, I don't feel like it's just black. I don't feel like it's just black folks in America. It's just like I heard that quote. Somebody quote the quote that Putin said, that Africa is basically a graveyard for African men. Because you think about it, it's the same shit. We all put our money into everything else besides what we should put our money into. We don't put our money into supporting each other. That's just like in Africa. If you're in Africa, most time, 9 times out of 10, your child is getting their education in where? Europe. You know what I'm saying?
Even when it happens because like we can't even say that about just Africans, because even here in America, because
I'm saying we're all. I think we're all enslaved to. We're all enslaved to the wrong thing, and not what we should actually.
Yes, because like I think that a lot of
fix our issue within the system as black people, and I'm not saying just us in America, but everywhere, the continent of Africa, black people around the world, the way that the injustices.
I'm looking at it as us as a people, because not even just black people, white people, Asians, like I mean, a lot of them have a lot of their stuff set up because I mean, they're more involved than we are in most cases, and they get the shit that they want. I mean, if we really look at like the LGBT, if black people did what the LGBT people have been doing since the 70s, like where would we be right now? Because look at like I mean, like they're able to change science. Like, a woman is not a woman no more. You know what I'm saying? Like they're making people change their beliefs and how they even speak to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, hey, just to throw this shit out here, I was thinking about this shit because of how powerful. I can't even pronounce that shit. LGBTQ. I guess I'm saying it right. Sorry if I butcher it. I don't mean no disrespect. But it makes me almost wonder if that's why you have so many people in droves are going to that side of the fence, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, look at all of the rights that they have, whether you're white, black, whatever nationality you are accepted, and anything that is done against you is immediately ordained a hate crime. You're like, bro, and it's like, it just makes you wonder, like, damn, is that why people run into that side of the fence? You know what I'm saying?
I think it does.
Giving up that much in life that they decided to say, fuck it, I'm gay now, I'm gonna run over here because now I'm gonna be accepted no matter what, and you can't do shit to me.
And I got more rights and
you'll
shit.
be fucking locked away. I got more rights. You'll be locked away if you do. If a white person do something to a black gay person, like, bro, like they taking that shit serious.
Yep.
Like you can't just a white dude just can't go do something to a black gay. It makes me wonder,
I mean,
bro.
whether it's black, gay, white, gay, Asian, whatever you are, you're gonna end up with more rights. But my thing is, like, it also opens the door for even white men. I'm gonna say that where it's affected, that it's already considered a majority, or within the majority group, where they can manipulate the majority group when they want to, and the minority group when they want to.
That's an interesting subject right there, and I have been thinking about that, and it's like, who benefits the most from it? And then, but then on the other side, with Deuce making a really good point, so it's kind of like, right, if you want your rights to be better, then you hug a white man, right? Get as close to the white man. Like, it's funny, but seriously, like, get as close to him as you can.
But see, but all it's all fraudulent, and that's the part that people like. Look, I'm gonna say like this, man.
It's
people, whether you
fraudulent to
believe,
somebody like you, Pat, that
you
haven't given up, that still believe and know that you have the ability to change this. But people that's giving up, bro, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Man, no. Listen, bro. Look, listen. because I think these people are way smarter than what y'all are giving them credit for. Because they know it's fraudulent too. They know they shouldn't be able to do all of that because of a sexual orientation. It's not even a handicap. Like it's like a choice. You know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
is a handicap. You wind up with some dick in your hair. That's a handicap. You gonna be
oh
handicapped
Lord.
after that. I'm just saying.
Y'all gonna piss
Stop
everybody
it.
off. Let me
Stop it.
read this comment. This comment, it says, "This is an important point. Conservatives are arguing that any laws or regulations that factor in race are unconstitutional, which basically means Section 2 of the Civil Rights Act, which was actually designed to correct inequalities in voting access, would be unconstitutional. And the 14th Amendment, which was specifically written to protect rights of newly freed slaves, would also be unconstitutional."
But
Go ahead.
do you know how fraudulent that is too? The 13th and the 14th Amendment, how fraudulent that is, because if you're making a system that's supposed to be fair, how is it that it's like, okay, look, the rule now is the same rule that the white man been living by, or that they, because I mean, really, the politically white, because I mean, if you want to, get technical about it, but these people, you know what, these laws apply to you exactly the same. No, they went and wrote something else that left out the word free for those people that they're now putting into that bucket. Like, it's like, to me, it's like, okay, details only matter when people want them to matter. If you want to ignore the truth in something, you have every right to, but when somebody's trying to bring that to your attention and you just kind of overlooking it, and you wonder what, but they still be doing this and they still be doing that. It's like, okay, well, have you exercised your right to say that, okay, this is what, but every time you go into court and you say you're one of the titles that they gave you, you're still subject, you're still underneath their thumb. Like, I mean, because I know I'm a broken record, because I mean, to like, the same thing kind of comes up, because I mean, it's the main solution is really one main solution, especially for Black people. I mean, when we talking about white people, really, if things would, if they stop involving themselves in, subjugating or oppressing people other than themselves, like, they would see improvement in their own lives, because they waste more time and money just to try to keep a facade going that they're better than somebody else. Like, if we're gonna go with the whole idea that we're all human, like, look, what I'm doing shouldn't bother you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they actually spend all this money just to keep up a facade.
Yeah. Let me read some more of this comment. It says, "The Alabama redistricting Supreme Court case arguments were fascinating to hear. Justice Jackson defended Section 2, and the conservatives' justice focused illogically on race neutrality and asserted that it's not enough for plaintiffs to present one alternative redistricting map that gives Black voters equal representation, but yet it's plenty for the state to offer just one redistricting map. That happens to give Black voters less representation." And the justice harped on about how a computer model should have, but didn't come up with the map plaintiffs presented. If their map was to be considered legitimate, when this is irrelevant, embarrassing. I think we need to pay attention to the courts. So that's like the point. I'm gonna read a couple more and then I'm gonna move on. Well, go ahead.
We really, I think, we need to pay more attention to a lot of this stuff. But I mean, who's really talking about this stuff? Where's the scheduling for these things? Because you know, for one, a lot of people don't want us involved, but I think that if in the beginning, like a lot of these things that's getting repealed, if they're doing things by the law, they're not trying to pull some sheet over our heads while they're doing, you know, one thing over here and saying they're doing something else. Like things will work out. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing is in nature. At some point, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to play a fair game because I mean, either you know the at some point you're gonna have a predator that's gonna end up being prey.
Because that's what's gonna happen, man. This is where we're headed to because they don't want to act right. They not only act right, man. In history, if you read history, you know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. It happens. It's gonna happen again.
No, it has to. Like I mean,
They're
because
doing
that's I mean
everything in their power so that it doesn't happen.
exactly. I mean that's why the lies and stuff goes on because like okay, I really think like you know and I've talked to some guys from South America, and you know, because I speak with enough sense, they like, okay, he at least gets it, he understands. But like, I think that like a lot of people who are wanting to see a bunch of the immigrants come because they're supposed to be angry at us because of all of the stuff that our government has been doing in South America. These people are supposed to be angry at us so that when they get up here, they're supposed to be the people that's gonna fight against us. So but I think these people are smart enough to realize that okay, it's not the people doing it, they know it's the government. So when these people get here and then the Democrat, because in a lot of cases it's the Democrats that's trying to allow them in here, but most of the time the Mexicans, the South American or Venezuelans, or you know what, the South Americans, they usually still vote Republican because they're not stupid people, but that's how they, you know, the Democrats keep trying to, or the Democrats keep trying to play people against each other because that's their only way to stay in power. And we could say I know you think American period, but
Yeah, I was
a
gonna say
lot
the other side do the exact same thing.
well, you know, hey, I've seen it in the past, but in recent times, it's been mostly one group, and you know, we can name them or not name them. It's been mostly one group that's been doing that. Because they can't even put it on because you know shit Bush they was like pretty much the same whole like Democrats pretty much ran the whole thing even though they had an R by their name, they was really Democrats. The Bushes, then the Clintons, then then Bush again, then Obama, and
I
then
would
we
say
got
it the other
Trump.
way around. I'd say it the other way around. I would say that Clinton and they were all Republicans. Biden, Obama, Republicans. Look, check this out. This is Kamala Harris is a damn meme, bro. Look at this. It says when you put a bunch of people in jail for marijuana convictions and your running mate pardons them.
Running mate? No, she's the running mate. She's the side chick. Like, so she's the side. He the boss, supposedly.
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny. I wonder why did they word it that way, but it's funny.
Bro, because she was ruthless in California, bro.
Yeah, this is funny. That carries a whole bunch of weight right there.
It does. Well, a lot of people don't want to hear that. No, that's sister
If
girl.
she
That's
runs,
black girl.
if she ends
That's
up,
black girl magic.
yeah, black girl magic. If she runs though, all that stuff's gonna come out. People are gonna talk about it. It's gonna come out.
I hope so.
But if She doesn't. She gets to just slide in and slide out, Condoleezza Rice style. I
But
want
that
to
lets
talk
me know
about.
how desperate he is because she's not by herself. You know, he wasn't a DA or somebody who was directly put, but his laws, things that he wrote on paper, is what enabled her to be able to do what she was doing. So he's really deeper in doo than she. If people really realize, because I mean, there were some people who actually saw her face when they were going to jail, or before they went to jail in court and this, that, and the other. But him, he in Congress, like he's writing the legislation that allowed her to be able to do what she was doing. So I mean, both of them.
Well, let me ask you this: do y'all think Beto has a chance?
Man, they just trying to get the black vote.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think that he's good for Texas. I mean, and does he have a chance? That's one thing. I guess he does have a chance because there are a lot more Democrats. Like, I mean, you got to realize we got a bunch of people from California in Texas now, so that's one of the things that kind of has me worried because like I don't.
I'm surprised. I ain't gonna lie. I'm surprised that you said that. I was expecting you to say that he don't have no chance.
Oh no, he has a chance, but I mean, I just don't think that he's good for Texas. Shit, go to a real democratic state. Like, I mean, like I've really
He's from Texas,
appreciate
though.
our school. I know he's from. I know he's from Texas. But what I'm saying is, he don't.
You want him to go to another nigga? Go to another state and fucking run over there. Shit. I know you're not from there. Shit.
Yeah,
Get your ass the fuck out to Texas. He needs to ship up and ship out.
Let me see.
I don't want that motherfucker.
Say, bro, I think that would be the beginning of the end if he.
People keep talking about they hate Abbott. People keep saying they hate Abbott, and I'm not saying Abbott's the best.
But I think that's a lot of that stuff is built on emotion. They're not really looking at how the state is really governed. Like, I mean, there's so many other things that's happening other than abortion. Like, but people get caught up on one thing. Like, bro, like it's bigger than that. And like I said, I mean, there's other solutions to that whole what you consider a problem. Like if you mad because somebody took away something that you may never use, because that's how like some people they ain't never gonna try to get an abortion, but because they got friends that's upset about it, now they upset about it. They got to be upset about it too. Like, look, this state, like you got to think about it. Like we got great education. Like just look right across the way into Louisiana and see what's happening over there.
Yeah, I gotta say though, I'm not the biggest fan of Abbott. I've had bad things to say about him for the longest time.
Hey, let me ask you this here: when you think about the state of Texas and it being a red state, me personally, growing up in Texas and Louisiana, for Texas to be a red state, bro, it's really not bad, especially like in the Houston area. Houston is so diversified, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't think of any other state I would rather live in, bro, other than Texas.
Say, bro, since I've been here, I'm just like, I ain't gonna lie, I love it. I mean, I love Texas, and especially like I grew up mostly in Louisiana. I've been, as somewhat into, adulthood, and then, being here most of my adult life, like where I can really see and understand, like the difference in government and how things, operate, bro. And then I still visit Louisiana. Man, say, bro, it's two different worlds, and it's like they're so close to each other. It's crazy that. It's and I love Louisiana. Like honestly, like it could like there's no reason for Louisiana to be on such a decline because I was like to some extent I feel like it's purposely being done by a group of people and just so happen to be labeled a certain way I'm not gonna even say say it no more because it's of a broken record. But at the same time, like it's certain groups of people where there's a lot of failure going on where it shouldn't be.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you too, man. If I was a criminal and I was gonna get locked up, I think I'd rather take my chances in Texas than Louisiana.
Oh man, say bro, I done heard people talk about Texas. Man, say bro, you look, Angola is still historic, bro. Chain gangs to this day, like bro, like I don't want to hear it. Like people talking about how bad it's supposed to be in Texas, man. No, you like a parish prison, probably worse than some of the federal prisons. All like the man, y'all just don't know. And believe me,
Yeah,
you know,
I think
and you know, I ain't saying like you know, because I know Texas do a lot of Texas people from Louisiana, but like I ain't, you know, because like I said, I ain't saying Texas people are weak or nothing like that, but it's the system. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like the people, the convicts that make it as bad, but when the people in power allow, you know, you got COs that will sit there while they know somebody getting stabbed up.
yeah.
Like it's certain things that they not like in Texas, certain things they're not gonna let just happen on they watch. Then you know, like yeah, shit gonna happen. But like with the CEO knowing that it's gonna happen, or maybe even the CEO setting it up to happen, like shoot, you got just as much drugs running through the man. I don't know. Hey, but I'm gonna just tell you, I think that we still need to try to keep America balanced. Like it's cool that we got democratic states because we got people who enjoy that lifestyle and want to be, you know, in like I guess enjoy that type of freedom. But I think we laws were created so that we can govern by, and people who like rules and laws and whatever, we need to have a place for those people as well.
Yeah. I want to move on to Haiti because I said I was going to cover it, so I have to cover it. I talked about it briefly yesterday. So let me read this is Democracy Now! The name of the video is Haiti Update, Gang Rule, Much of Capital Amid Protests Over Fuel Costs, Calls for Prime Minister to Resign. The caption says, mass protests in Haiti are condemning rising fuel prices and demanding the resignation of the U.S.-backed Prime Minister Ariel Henry. For nearly 2 months, street protests linked in a civil war have rocked the island's nation capital Port-au-Prince after the government announced it would raise heavily subsidized fuel prices. We speak to Haitian activists, I can't speak her name, about rising gang violence and how criminal groups are supported by the government. There is a mafia that is ruling this country, and the mafia doesn't want to face justice, says Charlier.
Career criminals usually, they trying to get away with it as long as they can. Are they surprised by that regime not wanting to? Like, bro, I mean, we got a bunch of, that's the same shit that's going on here.
It's a fucking
Like,
mess over there. Her name is
well,
Belina Elise Charlier.
yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's a mess over there, but because I mean, it's a small, I guess, smaller place. It's all right there in your face. But I mean, we got criminals running this country right now, and they ain't trying to go nowhere. They ain't trying to go to justice because, shit, if they had to deal with the crimes that they've done, like like putting people in prison that didn't need to be there, like even
Man,
crimes like that.
you know what, bro? I'm gonna say this, and it's just a quick suggestion. I personally think you would do very well at shedding light on this. And I don't know if you have in the past or not, But bro, we need to talk about the policing in the United States of adolescence. You know, the shit that they're doing to these kids, man. They're making these kids criminals before their lives even start. You know, over dumb shit in school, bro.
It's
Like
the
literally,
school, it's the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah,
like
exactly. That's what I'm
this
saying.
shit
Like,
is so fucking crazy, bro. And Kentucky was the #1 state in the world. Like, bro, I just watched
for
this
the
documentary.
number one state for what?
The #1 state in the world with the most prison population. Their incarceration rate rose about 255% back in like 2010 to like 2017.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Like
Locking
how you
kids
say
up
in the
like
world?
children.
Well, okay, I
Like,
guess yeah, the United States is like the biggest prison. So okay, so yeah, all right. So that, but even in this, like Kentucky is a fairly sized state. So even bigger than California and Texas,
yes,
it's put more
more so California.
per. Are we talking about
They
per capita or like 100%? Like they have way
bro, I'm
more.
talking about they were locking more people up than any other state in the United States. Like their rates were through the roof. They just passed a bill like back in like 2017 where they were starting to let starting to let convicts go, people that are on non-violent charges that have been that where the prison has been a revolving door for them. They were starting to let them go and release them into like halfway houses. The money that they're saving because it was costing them, you know, millions of dollars to for one inmate. So the money that they're saving on releasing these inmates, they're now putting that money into rehabilitating them, like sending them to halfway houses, sending them to different trade programs. And they're just now in the year 2022, they're just now starting to have a reform process on their juvenile justice system because they were locking kids up at an alarming rate for having a fight in school or for truancy or insubordination in the classrooms. You know, like the shit is fucking crazy, bro. And like that shit needs to take place across the board everywhere. You know, they're making these children criminals at the tender age of fucking 12, you know, 11, 12 years old, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's
fucking ridiculous, bro.
well, see, but and see that's the thing. Like, I mean, we in order for this thing to be completely fixed, like we have to spark something and keep passing on generation. Because I mean, we're generations in now. Like, I mean, we even if we just say from the boomers, then you know, Gen was it Gen X after the boomers? Yeah. But I believe, yeah. But however, like we're a couple of generations, we need in order for us to turn it around, it's going to take at least two generations, potentially three, to really fix it. But somebody who sees it and understands, because like that's my thing. Like we sit here and we argue with each other about certain things, but we agree on more things than we disagree. At least the purpose, the principles that's in line with it. You know, maybe we have different ideas of how it should happen, but you know, overall, like we need to be putting some things together so that we can change it. Like, I mean, like I said, I mean, we even having these conversations with our kids about, you know, understanding, you know, what's happening, what they're dealing with in school, like what they can expect and things that they need to, you know, not allow themselves to get into because this is a setup. Like they're already trying to set you up now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy, bro. And the crazy thing is a kid like, you know, they're not even really allowed to defend themselves, bro. You know, like let's just say your son walking down the highway and some kid comes up and punch him. And your son just turns around and whoop his ass. Do you know he gets in trouble? He gets expelled from school and in school suspension or suspended just as well. And he didn't even initiate the fight. Like, come on, that's bullshit, bro. You know, like really, you gonna, like it's ridiculous, bro. And then they're having to go to court for a fight. You know, like come on, man. You're introducing the court system to these children at this age, really? Like this is shit kids do. You know what I'm saying? Like really? Like it's crazy, bro. It's fucking nuts.
Well, yeah, I do understand that, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna teach my son anything other than what I've been teaching them. Somebody put their hands on you, go ham on their ass, and somebody, it is what it is. You might be at home for a few days or whatever, but
Yeah.
that's just what it is. Because I mean, you start, training them to be a bitch, then that's what they're gonna be all their life.
No, I mean I train my kids the way that you do. Like, hey, we don't start shit, but if somebody touch you, you definitely defend yourself by any means. But
Yeah.
the thing about, like I say, and my kid is not gonna be in trouble with me, but it's just a simple fact that, depending on the school district that they're in, they get into a fight, the officer's there, boom, there you go. Next thing you know, they're not only getting suspended or in school suspension, now they got to go to court, they got to go before a judge, they got to pay a fine. My nephew just went through this shit. Like my nephew is a very quiet kid. He stays to himself. He don't really mess with other kids. He's very like he's an introvert. Like he stays to himself, and he's fucking super intelligent, like high functioning kid, but he just stays to himself. Like most kids around him is not on his level. And one kid kept fucking with him, and he kept telling him, dude, leave me alone. Don't touch me. And he went to the teacher several times, and the teacher's like, oh, Dalen, you just need to learn how to play with other kids. And the boy fucked around and done something and hit him. And
Well,
Dalen
teacher,
went
this is
ham on
how
that nigga.
I
I'm
say. Well,
like,
teach, this is how I play, because I done told him. Look, I done
yeah,
told
I
him.
mean, he went
This is how to put. This
he
is how.
went
Look,
ham on
this
him.
how
He
you
whooped the boy
interact with me.
ass.
This is how you interact with me. If you know what I'm saying, you want to whatever. I told you to stop, or else. And here's else.
I want to. I really want to get to this. I feel like it's important. I know a lot of people probably feel like this topic's not important, but I really feel the importance of it. It's right off the coast. It's the thing is the solidarity, like this idea of the separations of the peoples is the reason why we can't freaking come together and fix the problems, And that's the same reason why we were talking about healthcare. And like I say, somebody always got something to say, so that's the reason why we all can't have it. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like somebody gonna have a problem with it, but
The separation of, because I mean you're kind of talking around it. I don't. What do you
what I'm
mean?
talking about is how I feel like the Haitian thing is important and how we are connected to it, being that they're right off the coast. It's the connection between Haiti and Louisiana is direct, and but it's even more than that. You know what I'm saying? Throughout those islands in the Caribbean, especially the southern parts of the United States, yeah, it's the same
Well,
people.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you because I know my comments earlier. Like I'm not really speaking. I just, I guess within the conversation, I'm saying that yeah, that's the exact same thing that's happening up here with in our government. But I guess it's significant because we're the, I guess major power of the West, so we can do something about it.
Right. And we're the major influence of their misery. Not me and you and Deuce, but
of course. No,
yeah.
no. I mean, because I mean, shoot, I love those. I mean, I say I love those people, but when I meet them, I'm cool with them. For the most part, I haven't really had any direct issues. Of course, I guess if you listen to what's his name, you'll think that things are so horrible between, people from other places. What's his name? Damn, what's the dude that he's real popular? He did the those documentaries on Tariq Nasheed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
my coworker or my co-driver, he was telling me about Tariq Nasheed. He follows him. He say he's kind of gotten off of him because he's gotten too messy with his shit. But yeah, he was telling me about it.
He's got too much of his own stuff that's coming out, and plus the stuff that he preaches. Because I mean, it's too much information available, and for you to be mad at people, talking about this plebiscite talk and blah blah blah. But when somebody goes and reads things for themselves and they see that he's full of shit, then yeah, you're gonna start losing people. And like, I don't know. And he thinks that he's above, people saying anything about him. It's like, okay, if you fuck up, or if you have fucked up, now you don't have to be a fuck up, but if you fucked up, it's probably best to just, hey guys, yeah, I was outside of myself and blah blah blah, and I have extra higher standards for myself, and I appreciate y'all expecting that level of what, like, what I'm saying, like, it's certain things that you if you don't keep adding fuel to a fire that really could have been chilled out a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
So, but what I was talking about with the solidarity is that if you didn't understand what I meant was that these people are the same people, really. Like, a lot of times we get caught up in someone speaking a different language.
No, I don't.
And we get lost in that. And it's like I say, the people in the right off the coast of Texas into Mexico, how different are these people that's in the valley from the people that's in southern Texas or even throughout Texas? You know what I'm saying?
No different.
It's the same freaking folks, bro. Like, historically, and that's what we have to look at, because where people lived and like the regions that they live in and stuff, like they live. Niggas on the cross of the river, yeah, them the other niggas, but really them the same niggas.
Well, even the real light skin was having abuela, however they say it, abuela,
yeah,
abuela, yeah. Like, all of them have the abuela, so it's like, they're all, like, to me, they are all the same, but especially, like, yeah, when you're talking about Louisiana. Haiti has a lot, because I mean, really, honestly, most people, black people that end up in Louisiana, came from some of those islands,
and
South
that's what I be saying.
Mexico.
It killing me how people think that people just stay put. Like, I be like, people do the same stuff they do now that they did back in the day. So you had people moving back and forth from Haiti to Louisiana or whatever, forth and back, hitting Barbados and Bahamas and forth and back. And
so,
I know somebody that was from like one of those St. Lucia or whatever, like people from those islands, their parents or cousins or uncles, they're all from different islands.
I've been saying for a long time, like, I don't see them as not, they're Americans just like we are.
That's my point. Exactly. Yeah. And their history is tied to ours. Let me play some of this.
Protests in Haiti have entered their third month to demand the resignation of the U.S.-backed Prime Minister Ariel Henry and to condemn rising fuel prices. Police fired tear gas Monday at thousands of protesters marching in the streets of the capital, Port-au-Prince.
The conditions are unemployment, hunger, misery, and corruption are blatant in our society. If the Prime Minister solves insecurity and hunger, if he manages to solve the gang problems in the country, if he can manage the crisis, there will be no problem with restarting classes. If he has no answer to these questions, he must leave power and hand it to the right person.
One of Haiti's most powerful gangs has blockaded a key fuel depot since September 12th. Many gas stations are closed. The gas shortage has shut down public transit, closed some hospitals. This comes as Haitian authorities have announced 8 people have died from cholera, the first cholera deaths in Haiti in 3 years. A cholera outbreak a decade ago killed over 10,000 people in Haiti. For more, we go to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, to speak with Belina Elysée Charlier, a Haitian activist and a member of the New Pap Domi collective. That means we are watching or we never sleep. Belina, welcome back to Democracy Now! It's great to have you with us. Can you talk about what's happening on the ground? You've described it as a civil war.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity to be talking about what's happening in Haiti. At the moment, yes, just like I said, it's very similar to a war situation in Haiti. The country, Port-au-Prince, the capital, many other major cities, and even small villages are on complete lockdown. The people.
Yeah, she's gonna be.
We are seeing if we, whoops, we're going to try to get her back. We're talking to Belina Elysée Charlier. The situation in Haiti is an absolute crisis. Belina, continue with what you were saying.
Yes, and one of the reasons why I'm breaking off is because of that. We are in fuel shortage for the past 3 weeks, and even longer than that. It's been 3 years since fuel has been challenging in Haiti. Every 3 months you go into a shortage, but that shortage is one of the worst that we have seen. It's close to a month now where access to fuel is almost impossible. It gets to the point that companies, at least one major company that produces and distributes and sells clean water, had to stop their operations. Cell phone companies have announced that they no longer can bring fuel to their cell sites, hence the poor internet connection. We have the cholera outbreak. So areas who already had no to zero or to very.
Well, let me ask y'all this. You know, we are concerned with what's going on in Ukraine and sending them money. Then what's the damn difference between Haiti and Ukraine?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Ukraine,
Shit, you
are
know
pale,
exactly.
olive colored people.
No, they not. No, Ukraine are not olive. Like, you know what color olive is?
Well, they look like them in Washington. How about I say that? God damn it! Shit.
They look like Forrest Gump. That's what they look like over there in Ukraine. Olive color is black. So when they say olive color, you know, they try to make you think that these people look green or like, no. Olive is like that deep dark purplish, dark black, brown, whatever you want to call it when they say olive colors. But however, yeah, I mean, it's easy to tell. I mean, the biggest reason why they getting aid the way they do in Ukraine is because number one is that they're trying to uphold Europe. You know, like they're trying to keep the power of Europe, and Ukraine wants to be a part of the, you know, the union, the European Union that they have, whatever, NATO or you know, whatever. So because they want that alliance to happen is why they can rob us of our money and give it to Ukraine instead of saying, okay, you know what, Haiti needs us too. And, you know, instead of sending Ukraine, what was it, 80 billion? I forget how much it was now, but shit, you could send, Haiti, they'll do wonders with 5 billion.
Why are the Republicans gonna sue for the student loan forgiveness, but they're not gonna sue for them sending the money to Ukraine?
Well, because they all, I mean, that whole European connection.
Yeah, it seems like if they're being all conservative, if they're being all fiscally conservative, and they, you know, want to America first. And
Well, I do believe if we had you know, our head of state was Republican, that would have never happened. Like Ukraine, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like Trump was already against that type of shit to begin with.
all the senators they all
why
sign off on it. They also, the Republican senators are in there. It's a whole bunch of them, and they signed off on that shit unanimously.
Okay, but
think
that's
it's a-
because the head was pushing it. You
The
think- you don't
head,
think- you-
the
yeah, you don't
Democratic
think that-
head
you don't think-
is the
Biden.
Democratic head is the Biden. Biden is telling the freaking Republican senators how to vote on bills. He's bullying them into voting how to vote or whatever.
Okay.
That's what you're saying?
Well, no. What I'm saying is that because it's an interest of his.
Why would they care about his interests? They're Republicans.
No, they all. I mean, they all like they play politics. All of them play politics. So I mean, if you know, them giving in on one thing, they think that they're gonna get it off on another end. Like, okay, all right, you know, we want to get this immigration thing fixed down here in Texas or over here, blah blah blah. All right, so you want to support Ukraine? All right, well, I'm gonna be looking for you when I get my bill together for this and that and blah blah blah. And then, okay, he gets that. And then when it turns around, then they got a fight. They're not gonna do what they need to do. Like they break their promises to everybody.
Yeah. Pretty damn dysfunctional, if you ask me. Let me play this.
Juan, if
Most
you could ask the next question. I think Velina can hear you, and then we'll only go to audio. I think she's back.
Yes, Velina, I wanted to ask you, you've said that Haiti has become a gangster state. Could you elaborate on that? These gangs that have developed, and especially in recent years, do they reflect internal battles among the elite of Haiti? Or what is the source and the funding of these gangs?
I love his questions.
Haiti became a gangster state, an unlivable place, like I said it. The gangs that we are seeing, they are very close to the power. The government uses the gangs to control the population, to terrorize the population, and try to kill any will that the population would have to protest against what's happening. They also use the gangs so that they can change the narrative. For example, there has been
Shit.
You know, as we fix the audio with Velina, it's just too important to.
She said the government uses the gangs on the people.
Yeah.
She said she uses they use the gang to change the narrative, not just change the narrative, but to take the will out of the people, to make them fucking give up. Yeah. That sounds familiar. You know, you got to wonder, because in some South American countries, Central America, even in Mexico, you could pretty much say that. A lot of times these governments have gotten in trouble from, working with the gangs. Let me play some more.
Let her go at this point. Let's go to another protester in the streets of Port-au-Prince.
I am on the streets for 4 reasons. First, we are here because of the misery, because of the hunger we endure. Second, Ariel Henry has no dignity. He cannot rule the country. Third, we are in charge of the streets. It is up to us to decide when classes can begin again. Ariel does not have the dignity to open the schools. We will open the schools and Ariel must leave.
That is a protester in the streets. Velina, if you could continue with what you were saying and also talk about the prime minister, U.S.-backed prime minister, who was implicated, I believe, in the assassination of the previous prime minister, Jovenel Moïse, just over a year ago?
Yeah, I'm continuing by saying that the gangs that we are seeing, there is the G9 gang coalition. It was made possible with the help of one of the government authority who was supposed.
Man, I think they were hating on her. Like they do
Lena,
not.
if you could start again. Again, we've lost you. We'll give this one more try. It's really difficult. Start again with what you're saying.
They do not want this information out.
Yeah, so there's the gang coalition, and the gangs are used by the power so that they can control the people. It's really their way of governance. It is similar to what we would call state terrorism. This is what we're going through in Haiti. And still, the United States of America give full support to Prime Minister Ariel Henry. None of the ministers have resigned, and none of the international community, including the US, have said that they will stop working with Ariel Henry. They continue business as usual, as if everything was perfect in Haiti. And we believe that if there wasn't United States hand on the scale giving support to Ariel Henry, we in the civil society would have been able to continue with the dialogue and implement that Haitian-led solution that we have been asking.
Looks like we get you 30 seconds at a time. One, next question.
Yeah, Valina, I wanted to ask you about the role of the United Nations and there was this whole issue of thousands of tons of food that was reportedly lost following repeated attacks on warehouses of the UN food program.
Well, you know, in Haiti, we do not have, the population does not have a good relationship with the UN. When you say UN in Haiti, the first thing that comes to mind is the cholera. The cholera outbreak, close to 10,000 people who died, even more than that maybe, from the cholera, and all of the battle that had followed that. First, it was a battle for them to recognize that they were the ones who brought cholera in Haiti, and then we had to fight for the mere excuse. And up to today, we haven't seen any trial, any process, and any justice brought to the victims of the cholera. And additional to that, the UN also has a reputation of raping women and girls and raping.
Valina was just talking about the cholera outbreak that last several years ago, after Maria was brought in by the UN peacekeepers, sadly, and 10,000 Haitians died. Your final point, Valina, as we lose you every couple of seconds.
Well, my final point is that one, Haiti is about to be cut off from the world if nothing is done. We are in a warlike situation. Haitians are dying. It is very urgent that the world knows that Haitians are dying, and it's state terrorism that we're seeing in Haiti. There is a mafia that is ruling this country, and that mafia doesn't want to face justice. It's complete impunity, and they'd rather kill us instead of letting us know, letting the world know that it is a mafia running this country.
Valina Elise Charlier,
what do y'all think?
Well, based on everything that I could hear and understand about what's going on, I mean, it looks like a setup to me. I mean, I just for whatever reason, like I feel like it's a true setup. This is powers that be, you know, because I mean, how long ago wasn't there a coup recently there?
Yeah, the president got assassinated, and that's what's so crazy is because the guy who's the prime minister now, he was implemented in the assassination, and you know, so he wasn't elected by the people. You know, they wanted to get the last guy out of there because he was staying over time anyway, the one who got assassinated. But this other guy wasn't even ever elected or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, he just fell in there, and then you know, and so the U.S. is backing it, and that's the thing. You know, they're keeping it a mess over there. And you know, the other part about the 10,000 Haitians dying as a result of the cholera outbreak that came from a UN person that came over there. That sounds like another freaking setup right there. It's so freaking sad. Let me read this comment, because this first comment, I think I read it before, but I want to read it again. It says, "It is both sad and criminal that Haiti is still paying for and punished for the uprising against the European slave trade and war against Napoleon for their freedom and liberty centuries ago." That's what's really happening. That's why they're suffering.
Yeah. Because you know they keep grudges going for a long time.
Talking about taking petty to the 110th
Oh
power.
man, bro, the petty scale, like it ain't no balance. It is a total lean to the other to one end. Like
Talk about somebody talking about, man, that's old shit. Be like, man, that's like 400 years old, man. Be like, I'm still mad, bro. I'm still mad about that, bro. I'm still mad. I ain't had time to get over that yet. I'm still feeling that. You know, that's what it is. They still mad about it. Yep.
You know, what's crazy to me is that, well, I can't say it's crazy. It's not a shocker, but it's still just like how the U.S. claims that they're their own entity and that they're the one that does groundbreaking shit in the world. And it's like, but yet and still, everything that we do is to uphold, you know, the Queen, you know, all of them over there, and you know, England and all of those places, Europe. You know, it's like that shit is just it's crazy to me. Like how there's, you know, a lot of these things are happening because of, you know, the connection with them over there.
Yeah. So this blatant, because we're talking about, look how far away Ukraine is from us. Haiti is right off the freaking coast. And look how they do Cuba. Cuba's right off the coast.
Yeah, I think anything that fell from the European deal, you know, is just, you know, the Queen's them rule or whatever, you know, they're shitted up on, bro.
Yeah, well,
And
they turned their back on imperialism. Like, Haiti was like, look, we're not doing no slave shit no more. And they took all the property back too. And they was like, no, man, this wasn't none of y'all shit. Like, and anybody that lands here is free. So it's a free black republic. Boom. And Cuba did something similar with the revolution that they had. So then, you know, the Western powers are like, nah, that's a no-go. Every knee shall bend and every tongue shall confess.
yeah. Yeah, it's fucked up, bro.
Yep. You don't want to bend the knee? Then I'm finna make your life a living freaking hell. For centuries. I want you to suffer.
But they're, you know, it seems that they're still powerful, but you know, in my opinion, I feel like they're losing power. They're losing it at a alarming rate, to where that they're continuing to do bullshit moves like this to try to save
They got
whatever
way too much
power.
going on, bro. Hey, we talked about the pipeline. You know, they were saying another point that I kind of didn't get to talk about was, like, it was in the middle of the Bering Sea or whatever, you know, the Nord Stream 2, and it got blown up. And all of that area is maintained by NATO. And so, like, I think it was Jimmy Dore was talking about it, and he was saying, so either, you know, NATO sucks so bad that Russia can sneak over there and blow some shit up without them seeing it in their ocean that they're freaking patrolling, you know, or, you know, they blew it up themselves, you know. And there's a new video Jimmy Dore did where he's talking about how they didn't blow it all the way up, Russia said they can start shipping natural gas to Germany like by Friday through the Nord Stream pipeline. So them niggas, they can't do nothing fucking right,
but you
bro.
know, Biden was so Biden was talking about if that pipeline was to go through between Russia and Germany, that he would put a stop to it. You remember that shit? That video
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
So
It's been went re-viral lately because people have been playing it because of what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, that tells me right there, NATO probably did have something to do with it, and then all of a sudden, you know, Europe want to say, "Oh, Russia did this shit." Russia probably ain't even do that shit, bro. Like, think about it.
It really wouldn't make sense.
Think
That's
about
what I
the
was
amount
saying.
of time that it would take. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense. And then think about the amount of time it would take for them to fucking get that far down in the ocean, right? And then the dig to get to the fucking actual pipeline. The pipeline is not just land on the floor. I'm pretty sure that shit is buried by dirt and everything else on the floor. Like, really? Like, come on, bro. People would have to be literally working around the clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, freaking I just think, you know, like I say, they got way too much on their plate, bro. They got way too much going on. They instigating all this shit over there in Ukraine. Fucking they instigating this shit in Central America and South America, the shit through freaking Haiti, you know, the shit through Venezuela. Bro, they got way too much going on, bro. How long can they continue to maintain this? This is unsustainable.
That's what I'm saying.
And steady lying to the people, like the people somehow being able to misconstrue and freaking filter out all of the information in a way that the American people is blind to it all. How much longer can they keep this up?
Bro. Yeah, like, people are stupid. My thing is like, come on, bro. Like, you can. I don't know. I don't get people. And then the thing about this whole about us getting oil from Venezuela, like, damn. Now all of a sudden, like, think about the slap in the face that is to the Venezuelan people and the shit that they're enduring over there. Now all of a sudden, we struck a deal with their government to get oil from over there, and the people are still gonna continue to suffer.
As long as the European people get their lights on during the wintertime so they won't freeze. Them good old white folks.
I hear you. Fuck them motherfuckers.
I don't want to lose y'all, but I'm gonna play a little bit of this since we talked about it.
Trying to buy an individual ticket in Richmond or Virginia Beach, and you couldn't. You can now. So go to jimmydorkami.com. There's a link for tickets if you're in Virginia Beach or Richmond. Individual tickets now available. You can buy single tickets. So we're here with America's comedian Kurt Metzger.
It's Americans comedian
Kurt Metzger and Canada's journalist Aaron Mate. So you know the gas pipeline was called Nord Stream 2 and Nord Stream 1 that's coming from Russia that was going to bring energy, gas to Germany. Well, the United States blew it up. And the reason why the United States blew up that gas pipeline was because as the pain of these sanctions, of not having energy from Russia starts to be felt in Germany and Europe, the United States didn't want them to be able to reverse the sanctions that they had on Russia. They wanted them to not have a choice. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the people were starting to protest in Germany and starting to protest in Europe against high gas prices. They wanted their governments to do something. So the United States wanted to take the option away of them going, okay, bring us the gas from Russia via the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. So the United States just blew it up. So now we don't have that. But turns out they actually didn't get all the pipelines. So when the United States blew up the pipeline, we didn't get all of it. And now this is the Russian energy company, Gazprom, is ready to ship gas via a shelved Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Did you know this?
Don't say that. Russia will blow up their last pipeline.
But the United States says Russia did it. Yeah, right. So Gazprom told European gas customers that part of the damaged Nord Stream network could still transport fuel, but only on the new pipeline that Germany ditched in February in protest at Russia's aggression towards Ukraine. The Nord Stream 2 pipeline was set to go into operation earlier this year when Germany pulled the plug on the project just before Russia's invasion. The pipeline, which was set to double the capacity of Nord Stream, had been sanctioned by the United States and faced strong opposition in parts of Europe, forcing Germany to eventually give up on the project. Now, Trump even had put sanctions on this pipeline. They kept building it anyway. And then when Biden got elected, he realized they're going to finish this pipeline. So they took the sanctions off and said, you can go ahead and use this pipeline under the condition that if Russia does invade Ukraine, you have to stop. Germany said, okay, we'll abide by that. So the United States then provokes Russia to invade. They keep shelling the Donbass. That happens. They have to stop that Nord Stream 2 pipeline. So this is what they're talking about there. That's the pipeline they had shut off so they could go back to using this. The pipeline, which was set to blah, 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 blah. After the suspected sabotage of the network last week in a series of explosions, Gazprom said on Monday that 3 of the lines were affected and 1 wasn't. The gas giant has lowered pressure. So what do you think? Let me bring in Aaron Mate. So what do you think is going to happen? I think the United States is going to blow up that fucking last pipeline. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, look, I'm not going to predict, but I will say the U.S. had every interest in stopping that pipeline and will have every interest in making sure that it cannot resume. And the way they've been doing it so far, at least in public, is basically pressuring Germany, trying to bully them into canceling the pipeline. Trump did that, but Democrats and the media ignored it because it undermined the narrative that he really was a Russian agent. So they barely even paid attention to it when he was doing it. Even as he was calling Nord Stream a horrific tragedy and all this other stuff. And then, as you say, Biden found a backhanded way to continue the Trump policy when he came into office by saying that if Russia invades, then you have to cancel it. And even then, Germany still resisted and said, we're not going to confirm that until finally they caved in the end. But right now, Germany is in a very precarious situation. Shortly before the pipelines were attacked.
Wait. Earlier, and like I was saying, does that not sound like good cop, bad cop, back and forth with Trump and Biden on this pipeline issue? It still results in the same thing. They both. How could it be that Trump and Biden both have the same was doing the same thing related to this pipeline? You know? And then Trump is not even really like a lifetime politician like Biden. So he just jumped in there and he's already on the same agenda with Biden on this issue related to this pipeline. What I think that shows is that it doesn't matter, you know, Republican or Democrat, 2 birds, 2 wings, same bird.
Yep.
Because why would Trump care about this particular thing? You know, I could see Biden, but why would Trump care?
Well,
It doesn't really fit. It doesn't fit. Biden, Trump was screaming the America First stuff.
Uh-huh.
Let me play some more.
The head of the German Steel Association said that Germany faces a winter of deindustrialization if it cannot get its cheap source of Russian energy going again, because already Germany is facing high energy prices. Factories are being closed, jobs are being lost accordingly, and things are scary. And there's talk of Germany having to ration energy this winter because it's going to be in such short supply amid temperature forecasts of really cold temperatures. So as you say, Germany had every incentive to try to back off of this proxy war alliance, and whoever blew up the pipeline took away Russia and Germany's best form of making a deal and actually getting Germany to back out of this proxy war. So I think if there is a chance of gas flowing through that pipeline again, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tries to stop it, just as they did last week.
I think it's adorable that you say whoever blew up that pipeline, because you have a reputation you have to protect.
Do you think Biden was lying and wasn't going to do it when he said, "I'm going to do that"? Could be. He's lied before.
Well, this throws a new wrinkle into the mix. Apparently, Gazprom has confirmed that Line B of Nord Stream 2 was not damaged by the sabotage operation. Also, that the damage to the other lines is repairable. So, what will Germany do now? Do you think they're going to try? I can't imagine that they hold the line against Russia on this through this winter. What do you think? I mean, I know you're not a predictor.
Listen, Jimmy, these leaders are so weak. And they've completely crumbled to the U.S. They've decided to commit economic suicide for what? Just to deny Russia a victory in Ukraine, which basically means implementing the actual commitments that Ukraine and U.S. have previously made. As you've talked about, there was an accord in 2015, the Minsk Accords. France and Germany helped broker it. That was the deal to end the war in the Donbass between Ukraine, the coup government, and Russian-backed rebels. There were peace talks earlier this year, as you talked about, with Russia and Ukraine pretty much reaching the same agreement, and also Ukraine pledging to not join NATO. And we know that those were sabotaged by the West. Boris Johnson came over and told Zelensky, we're not going to back you up if you make a peace deal with Russia. So in short, you have to keep fighting in this proxy war. And Germany and France have not stood up to the U.S. yet. So even though they're destroying their own economies, even though they're sentencing their own citizens to a very tough and cold winter, I haven't seen any evidence that they have a spine yet, and they're willing to stand up to the U.S. So that's why I can't predict that they're finally going to wake up and realize that this proxy war, for their own narrow interest, is suicide for them.
So that's the thing that is mind-blowing to me. I didn't realize that the leaders of European countries were so spineless. They really, really are. I didn't know this. What?
Have you met Germans or been around them for years? I know, like in New York, I used to have all Austrian roommates.
But
they're so. Here's how I would sum it up. Seriously, nationally speaking, they still this day they feel so guilty about being Nazis back in the day, that they'll literally knuckle under and freeze to help Nazis. Because that's how little they don't have, like, national, like, rah patriot. They don't even have that. That's a few crazies have that, or it was the last time I talked. But it's a very, like, but they're also not, America, we're not big readers. Over there they are. So I don't know. They might be quiet and not, like, warlike now, but they're smart, so they must know that's what's going on.
But I just can't believe. Okay, maybe that explains Germany. But when Putin gave his speech last week, he really ripped the Western leaders for being such, weaklings to the West, and knuckling under. And he's like, when are you going to stand up? They're just, you see what they're doing? He was telling them exactly what is happening. Right, Aaron? Isn't that what?
Yeah, he was. And he was challenging them to stop being lackeys of the U.S. But that's the choice that they have made. And look, this current chancellor of Germany, Scholz, he's different than Angela Merkel. It was under Angela Merkel that Nord Stream was built. Germany decided then that this was in their interest. They knew the U.S. would oppose it, but they decided we're going to resist the U.S. no matter what. But Merkel left office recently and replaced by this guy Scholz, and he's completely caved. God. And I don't know what it will take. The day before these attacks happened against Nord Stream pipelines, there were demonstrations in Germany across the country. We didn't hear about them in the U.S., of course, but they happened. A lot of people, different cities, just calling for the Nord Stream 2 to be reopened and calling for an end to these sanctions because they're recognizing that these sanctions are hurting them, that they're raising energy bills, they're leading to job losses, and they are doing what that German steel president warned about, leading to a winter of deindustrialization.
Yeah, buddy. I don't know. The Ukraine topic is so freaking tired. Deuce, were you here when I was talking about Biden forgiving the marijuana cases and stuff?
Yeah, I came in on the tail end of that. Yeah, I heard that he's supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, so what do you think about that? So it says, like, Biden can do an executive order and pardon all of those people who got these marijuana convictions and are in jail right now. And also the ones that were passed conventions have them expunged so they won't be on their record to affect their employment or getting an apartment or loans or whatever.
Man, I think it's a good thing, bro. I honestly do think it's a good thing. I mean, to be held up in, and life from a drug that's legal in most states in the United States, like that's bullshit. You know, I feel like it's a good thing. Just think about how many people are prisoned day to day for this shit. Go to jail for having, quarter pound of weed or whatever. Like, yeah, bro. Like, I feel like we got bigger fish to fry than to worry about that type of shit. And it's a point like I make this point that I heard in that documentary I was telling y'all about the prison reform, documentary in Kentucky. The United States has a history of locking up people that they're pissed off at. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to locking up the people that are true menace to societies. You know what I'm saying? The murderers, the rapers, the just pure evil people. And to destroy somebody's life for a recreational drug, it's I don't even know like how to even explain it. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
So if they can make that change, if they can change that legislation and do that, I think that'll be great for a lot of people, bro. Like for real. Think about how many college students fucking their career is ruined because they get caught with weed. Really? Like that's some bullshit. I think it's a good thing. Some people may say not, but I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think by doing this, it'll be a step in the right direction.
Yep. Hopefully they actually do it and not just talking about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all just them trying to get votes.
Yeah, I think that is a ploy for Biden to get votes. But hey, man, if something good is gonna come out of him trying to get votes, and I don't think he's gonna get any votes. He's lost a lot of popularity, even by people that liked him, people that voted him in. These people have lost faith in this guy. So I don't think I could stand another 4 years of him. And I'm just being honest. Like, he is fucking horrible.
Let me cover this. This keeps popping up. So let me cover it.
Breaking news first. At least 35 people, including 24 children, are dead after a former police officer went on a shooting and stabbing spree at a daycare centre in Thailand. He reportedly shot dead several adults, then forced his way into a locked room where the children were sleeping for their nap time. Local reports say the man arrived at the nursery and became agitated after realising his child wasn't there. He then drove home, firing shots from his car before killing his wife and son, and then himself. Police say he had been at a court hearing on drugs charges just before the ambush in the country's northwest. The Thai Prime Minister says it's a shocking incident, ordering an investigation. Breaking news first.
Damn, that's a fucked up ass story.
Yeah.
The caption says a gunman attacked the child care center in Thailand and then fired from his car as he fled, killing more than 30 people, including 24 children. The gunman, a former police officer, later killed his wife and child before taking his own life. Damn, bro, this dude wanted to go out with a bang.
Yep. Damn. Whew, Lord, that's crazy, bro. That's wild.
I'm speechless because I like he went to go. So when he went to go look for his kid, and he
Yeah,
wasn't there.
that sounds weird to me. So when his kid was at the house, that's part of the story doesn't make sense. So he went there look for his kid, it wasn't there. Then he went home and killed his wife and kid. That's what they said. Wait, something's not right with that story.
Well, could be maybe he and his wife are separated, and he went to the daycare to try to get his kid, and the kid wasn't there. He feels like she's trying to keep his kid away from him, so he goes
Something
to
like
her
that.
house. Yeah, he goes to her house, find her and the kid there, and he fires shots at her from inside of his car, striking her and the baby, and then killing himself. I mean, maybe they just, I don't know. But that's fucked up, bro. I'm speechless. Like, I'm not finna kill my child, bro. I don't understand motherfuckers that do that shit. Like, they,
What I'll say on that is that, like, look at all the pressure they have people under. Like, people are fucking losing it, you know? People are fucking losing it, man. Ever since the damn pandemic, it's the timeline, bro. The timeline done changed, and people are freaking on the edge. You got inflation, you got freaking food prices, gas prices. It's not funny, but what I'm saying is a whole bunch of pressure, and then dude just be like, now this is a pussy ass move. Now, I'm not defending this at all. What I'm saying is, like, it's a good chance of us to see more stuff like this with people just losing it.
yeah, I guess so. But, bro, like, my kids, my wife, my kids are my everything, bro. Like, I'm not finna. I could not hurt them. I couldn't hurt nobody, really. Yeah, I had to be on some extreme pressure to go and bust a motherfucking ass and kill them, But like, shit tough, shit tight, even on my end, bro. Like, this has been a pretty rough year, I can say, for me, financially, But it just ain't nothing in this world say make me say I'm gonna kill my wife and my kids, bro. Like, motherfuckers, these are motherfuckers that's just giving up on life, bro. I done been in the struggle before. I know what it is not to have shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nigga,
Ain't
we
no
been
excuse.
struggling. We been
Yeah,
fucking struggling all our lives. Ain't
yeah.
nobody ever gave us shit.
I've
So
been wanting to wild out since I was in middle school, probably. Shit. Let me
yeah.
read this comment underneath this. It says, I don't know. It says, I don't even know how to begin the process or how to even try to comprehend what I just read. Like, what the fuck is wrong with certain humans? That's evil at its strongest, trying to ruin and imprint this world as we know it. Shit is beyond sad and fucked up. May God comfort all families of anyone hurt in this situation. RP to all those young children in which had their life taken. This is just horrifying. Prayers to everyone. Another one, it says, so sad. What the fuck is wrong with the world? Prayers for all the families. Another one says, what the fuck? Can't cap. This the kind of info I can do without. Yeah, man. I don't know about covering stuff like this, so I didn't know it was that horrible, but I saw it kept popping up on my timeline, and I was kind of curious, but I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if I really wanted to know this story either. And I'm gonna remember this shit.
Yeah, that shit crazy, bro. God damn, all this fucking construction through this bitch. Yeah, man, but bro, it's just I don't know, bro. I hate to say this shit, but it's just to me, it's like, uh, um, yeah, that's some weak shit, bro. Like I couldn't even imagine, bro. Like you talking to a nigga that like I try to talk to my kids before I whoop their ass. Like I try to reason because I don't ever want them to feel like I'm hurting them. You know what I'm saying? So to go and kill them, like, bro, ain't no fucking way. Let alone any kid, dog. Kids are fucking innocent, bro. Like, bro, you talk about loyal. Kids is like having a fucking dog, bro. They're loyal as fuck. And they love unconditionally. Like, what the? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fucked up story. Yeah, look, check this out. It says LAPD officer killed during training accident was investigating officers who took part in gang rape. An attorney representing the family of a Los Angeles police officer who died after a training exercise in May alleged Wednesday that the officer was targeted and killed after filing a report accusing fellow officers of sexual assaulting a woman. So, let me read the caption. It says, bicycle officer Houston Tipping, 32, suffered a catastrophic spinal cord injury after he and another officer fell to the ground during a simulation, according to a report released Tuesday by Los Angeles Police Department's Office of Constitutional Policing and Policy, which called his death a tragic accident. The impact on the ground with the arm of the officer in that position around the backside of Officer Tipping's neck in that instance is where the fracture occurred, LAPD Chief Michael Moore previously said. Gage, the attorney for Tipping's family, says they intend to file a lawsuit against LAPD over the officer's death. A spokesman for the LAPD told ABC News on Wednesday that the department does not comment on open and pending cases and that the report was released yesterday and stands on its own. The Los Angeles Medical Examiner's Coroner's Office ruled Tipping's death an accident. The LAPD, so they don't have a case. Let me read some more. The LAPD investigators said they found no evidence of wrongdoing. According to the LAPD report, officers taking part in the training exercise are expected to be punched and kicked, which, according to Gage, Tipping was subjected to during the exercise, leading to his injuries. See, that sounds suspicious right there. According to the LAPD report, officers taking part in the training exercise are expected to be punched and kicked, which, according to Gage, Tipping was subjected to during this exercise, leading to the injuries. Wait a minute. That sounds like y'all are trying to make an excuse for the shit. Because, like, okay, if, whatever's going on in the training, and then it leads to somebody's death, then you're just going to be like, that was an accident or whatever. You're not going to say, oh, they supposed to know they're going to be getting punched or kicked. That's what be happening. And shit, they fell down and broke their neck. Sometimes that happens. I don't know. That sounds really suspicious, though, especially if this made it to a whole ass story. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't say anything about this, so I don't know.
My thing is, if somebody was hurt in an accident or killed in an accident, then why in the fuck is the LA Police Department doing their own investigation? Shouldn't somebody else be brought in from the outside so they can have more of a transparent and openness in their investigation and not these motherfuckers?
And what I was saying,
of course, they gonna defend their own department.
So then we have to find out who was the medical examiner too, because it says the Los Angeles Medical Examiner Coroner's Office ruled Tipping's death an accident. So, who was that medical
They're all
examiner?
buddy, bro.
Yeah.
The medical examiners know the cops. They all buddy. And then the LAPD police department has been corrupt. All them motherfuckers are. Yeah. That
Yeah,
shit
but you're
happened
gonna
way back
have a
in the
hard
day.
time because the coroner said it was an accident. You're gonna have a real hard time
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's gonna rule that because it's that systemic shit. You know what I'm saying? The buddy buddy system. You know what I'm saying? And of course they're gonna rule it that they're not gonna. He's not gonna find his fellow officer. You know, uh, guilty of wrongdoing. Of course he's gonna rule it that. But that's what I'm saying, bro. When shit happen within these police agencies in these different cities or towns like that, their shit should not be investigated by their own investigators. It should be outside, you know, people that come in and investigate this shit. That way you have more of a chance of this shit being looked at from a different perspective, a more transparent view, a more honest view. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit. I'm just saying, bro. Like, that's why like people get mad at these officers like that don't check these other officers for wrongdoing in the field because it's like, these motherfuckers they looking at okay, you know, what if I'm doing something wrong or or I gotta watch my back now if I check this motherfucker, But that just also you gotta stand on something, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the female officer that got on the white officer for handling the black dude the way that he was doing, and she grabbed him, and then he pushed her and grabbed her by the neck and told her, "Don't you ever fucking put your hand like motherfuckers like that should not be on the force. They need to be dealt with." What do they call that shit? IAV, Internal Affairs,
Yeah.
IVA or whatever. Yeah, these motherfuckers needs to be an agency from Texas or somewhere else coming in to look at the LAPD, bro. Them corrupt motherfuckers.
Yep. It says Biden will issue an executive order pardoning all prior offenses of simple possessions of marijuana. He's also asking HSS and AG to review how it's scheduled under the federal law. This is huge. I wonder if it's really happening. You driving, bro? 'Cause I'm about to wrap it anyway.
Yeah, I need to get ready to jump off here anyway. I'm about to pull in my delivery anyway, bro. So knock out this last delivery real quick.
Shit, it was good to hear from you, bro.
Hey, same here, bro. Shit, I'm glad I was able to jump on tonight. I missed last night. So yeah, but yeah, shit. Well, y'all got me all the way from Harrisonville, Missouri, down here to North Little Rock, over 300 miles.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. But shit, man, I'm gonna get off of here, bro. I'm pulling here and knock this delivery out real quick, man.
All right, man. Peace and love, bro.
Hey,
Be
peace
safe.
and love. Will
be
do,
careful.
man. Y'all do the same, bro.
For
Peace
sure.
and love.
All right. Yeah, Pat. About to wrap it, bro. You got any final words?
Nah, man, I'm just think that people need to pay more attention to what's going on because while things are happening to others, before you know it can be happening to you.
That's the point, man. I'm glad you said that because that's another reason why I covered the Haiti thing. And I wish that people could have some compassion because it really could be you next, really could be. That totally could be us, a mess just like Haiti is.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways, peace and love. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for listening.
Peace and love.
Catch you on the next same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, y'all throw a few dollars in the coin cup.
Yeah, let me put that up. Yeah, man. Cash App King Chaka ENT. It's KINGCHAKAENT.
For sure. Support the channel.
Peace and love, y'all.